Live from the Busch Lights Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My hot dog. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moth at halftime.
Even one Razorback.
It's vintage Matt Jones.
1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text on the McLarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Morning and wet one today. A whole lot of yuck. Not a fun drive to Van Buren, but made it safely today. Fayetteville has continued to be wet. Most of our listening audience has been experiencing thunderstorms throughout most of the morning. Into the afternoon, that'll be the case. Maybe there'll be baseball tonight at Paul Walker Stadium. They tell us for a 6 o'clock first pitch. We'll see if that does happen, but that's what we're planning on right now. And it is great to be with you today, along with my friend Matt Jones at Lumber One in Van Buren on Industrial Park Drive, celebrating customer appreciation. We've got the bird's eye view, man. We can see everything from above. I feel like an inventory taker being up here, looking at every single aisle and everything that they've got available for purchase, and all the folks that are down below talking and looking at the tools. And Matt, it's good to be with you again, man. We've been well. I guess we're next to each other here. We've been across a table from each other for 3 days as well. So looking good again. And I'm sorry if I didn't say it when you first walked in, but maybe I'll wait until the show starts. You're looking.
All right. Sounds like we lost Phil and Matt. Hopefully we'll be efforting to get them back momentarily. Hopefully Phil texts me back again. They're live at Lumber One in Van Buren. It is Customer Appreciation Day. So as Matt's been telling you all week, go get a burger, go get a dog, and go see Phil and Matt when you get a chance. Guys, are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
Did we unplug it?
No, nothing got unplugged. I don't know, man. Okay. The sound of my voice might have scared the internet away or something like that. I don't know. I didn't think that rain would cause a problem with the internet, but when we were hooked into the walls here, it's Lumber One's internet. So I'll get the Verizon brick up, see if we've got to use that at some point, okay? But we're good for right now.
We are. You guys are on and live,
all right,
Phil.
All right, good. Let me start where I left off. Matt, I didn't say it when you walked in. I'll say it for the start of the show. You're looking pretty today.
You know, when you're the B player, you have to know what your job is, what your role is, and my job is definitely to show up and look pretty. And
you're very good at that.
I'm getting it down.
Yeah,
getting it down.
You trimmed yourself for the big deal on.
It's always
Tuesday.
fun to be on stage and have the spotlight right on you.
Well, that's kind of what we are right now. This is a stage, and we're right at the top of the only stairwell at Lumber One. So anybody that walks up here will be kind of right here with us. You want to call it a ledge, maybe like a little bit of an indoor patio, a dais, a floating dais. But yeah, this feels like a stage. We're front stage, right, nice out front and center and everything. All right, just to throw it out at the start of the show today. I don't know what the plan's going to be. It does look like there might be a window to play baseball today. I've seen that it's supposed to kind of slow down as far as the rain is concerned around 4 o'clock. Supposed to start the game at 6, which puts us on the air at 5:30. Might have a little rain as you start the game, and I don't know. This is the kind of night and the kind of weekend that because Sunday looks like a total washout, I have a sense that even if there's rain while we're waiting there, I think we're going to wait for a while. I think that you could actually sit and wait for a while because you don't want to get your starting pitchers out there on a Friday and get them started and then have to pull them off the field, and then you're done with your starters if they sit for longer than an hour. So it may be a lot of kind of, you know what it's like in sports sometimes, especially when you're traveling. But in baseball, when it comes to rain delays, it's a lot of hurry up and wait and wait and wait.
Got to have a deck of cards. Need a backgammon board. Yeah, that's you got to have something to.
I saw your boy Caleb Williams had a deck of cards yesterday at the NFL draft in the green room, just to kind of pass the time and be cool and not be nervous. What did he have to be nervous about, though?
Do you think they got it right? You think that's? I mean, because that's what it is with the 6 quarterbacks going in the top 12. And we talked about the '83 draft a little bit yesterday on the show, and some of the drafts that had a lot of quarterbacks go in it. But the numbers tell you half of them might work, half of them might not. But I'll tell you this, Phil, I thought everybody who drafted a position player in the first round, I think every single one of them hit. Every one of those position players. It's the NFL draft's weird now. In what they go for, but if you're the best at your position, that kid from Florida State, I mean, he can absolutely go. And then who'd I tell you that I thought for sure was going to be a star? Xavier Liggett, and they trade back in the first round and get him. I don't know if that's a good fit for him, but he gets to stay close to home or close to where we went to college.
Well, how would you like to be the Vikings? You know, I mean, they kind of felt like McCarthy lands in their lap there at number 10. They were able to trade up and get him, and then ended up picking up maybe the best edge rusher in the draft in Dallas Turner from Alabama.
He's a stud.
Yeah.
He can do a little bit of everything. Yeah, he can run support. He can definitely drop off in zone coverages. He attacks. The way he moves, the way he sees the ball, that's what I mean. Like, that dude's a top 5 pick, and because of the 6 quarterbacks going, everybody kind of get pushed back a little bit.
What are the Falcons thinking? I mean, that's the story of the first round. Never mind. I mean, the quarterbacks go in 6 out of the first 12, offensive players in the first 14, all of that, no doubt. But what the mind blowing thing here is what's going on in the last few months of signing an established quarterback in Kirk Cousins, who doesn't feel like he's at the back end of his career, and now giving him $100 million guaranteed money, and then drafting a quarterback is one thing. Drafting maybe that quarterback would be the other thing that you think is drafting Penix first of all at 8 a reach. I think absolutely that's a reach. But even going for a quarterback. Anyway, when you've guaranteed Cousins $100 million, I mean, that's what everyone's thinking right now. What are they thinking?
There's 2 schools of thought. If you're the head coach, you're just like, what's really going on? Because it's such a short-term deal, you know, as far as if you don't have success, they move on. Does it work out a lot? You know, it works out when you have an established guy, it seems like a little more. But, yeah, if you're Kirk Cousins, don't you want to go get one of those receivers? Don't you want to get an offensive lineman?
Or get a defender.
Brock Bowers,
your
hometown guy who many thought was the best player in the draft. He fell to 13. He was still on the board. Yeah, that was interesting. I like Michael Penix more than others. Like, I like Michael Penix. I thought Drake May, Caleb Williams, those would have been the 3. I like Michael Penix over Jaden Daniels, and Jaden Daniels went 2. So it's weird. It just takes one to like you. And obviously Atlanta, that was their guy. And the other thing, they could have probably traded back, Phil. They probably could have traded back a couple spots and still got him.
Exactly. That's also part of it too. But it's, you know, if you're talking, like I look at Pittsburgh, they've got this plan of succession now with 2 brand new quarterbacks that they bring in out of free agency and trades with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. But it's also looks like it is set, you know, that the idea of these transactions happened over the course of 2 days. You're going to have a conversation with Wilson about this is somebody that you're going to mentor. And it looks like he's perfectly okay with this, at least for now. In this situation, this is a line of succession that makes – does it make a lot of sense? This is the kind of thing that the Packers are known for doing, for drafting a quarterback and even in some cases it feeling like it could be maybe a reach in the case of Jordan Love, and then sitting, learning. There are controversies that come from that. I mean, you know, we know about Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre and the lack of a relationship, and obviously Rodgers was, you know, peeved at them drafting Love. This kind of this feels even different from that because if you're Kirk Cousins, are you going to sign with some? I mean, yeah, $100 million, you're going to sign what they offer for, but I don't think this was part of the plan. At least not to him. Yeah,
you had a lot of guys that were still available. I like the Jets pick. The kid from Penn State. He was a teammate of Caleb Williams in high school. That was I thought that was a decent pick.
Well, you get the draft restarted again today, and what do we have? We've got rounds 2 and 3. Well, I was going to say on ESPN Arkansas, but that's not the case because we'll have the baseball game Arkansas and Florida when that does occur. So it's on ESPN, ABC, and the ESPN app, 6 o'clock Central Time. And someone maybe get drafted in the 3rd round from Arkansas, potentially. You could see McLaughlin, potentially.
Hey, somebody's got to cover these guys. How
about the idea of no corners in the first, what was it, 20 picks?
Your boy Brett Dolan was right on. I asked him, what do you think the Bears would do after they take Caleb Williams? He said they're going to go I said, would they get a tackle or a receiver? He said if it was him, he'd go out and get one of those star wideouts. My favorite receiver, Roma Dunze, that if you're after Marvin Harrison Jr., he's the guy, and then you're looking at Malik Neighbors, you're looking at some of the other receivers. I like Roma Dunze. I think he's a star in the make. He's a big, strong country kid. You see the kid that was at Tennessee that went to Philly, A.J. Brown. That's who he reminds me of. I mean, I think he's a star in the making.
Well, and then there's college basketball free agency, in which Arkansas has picked up 2 commitments since we got off the air yesterday. Boogie Fland committed to Arkansas yesterday afternoon, and then this morning, Billy Richmond has committed. Both of these guys had just come on their visits, and they commit either when they went back home or at the tail end of the visit. You got Fland, who's a 6'2" wing, who apparently can score like nobody's business, and then there's Richmond, a 6'6", 180-pound small forward from Memphis, whose dad played for Cal at Memphis. So the roster's starting to come together a little bit. You've had 3 commits this week, and now you got Big Z, Carter Knox, Boogie Fland, and Billy Richmond. And, apparently the recruiting services are saying this is the 4th top recruiting, or the 2nd top recruiting class in the country for the time being, and it's still just kind of begun. So a lot of interesting things going on as far as college basketball is concerned. The Hogs women's team also lost another starter to the transfer portal. Miriam Dowda entered the portal yesterday, just a couple of days after Samara Spencer. So as we're talking about incoming players for Cal and the men's team, it's more of an exodus for Coach Neighbors and the women's team, and that does leave a lot of open spots and a lot of minutes to be handed out somehow as both teams completely remake the roster. Go ahead.
I saw where that kid from Alabama, one of their outside shooters, just went to Kansas. So it kind of happens both ways a little bit with Alabama. They haven't had a lot of losses in the transfer portal, but that was one of them.
Yeah, Rylan Griffin.
Rylan Griffin, yeah, scored a little over 11 points per game last year. So
he's a solid player.
He's a good player. He's going to be playing in a cooler building, that's for sure. I'll tell you that. Halftime today on a Friday includes the Golden Hour, hour number 3. That's when we'll talk with BetSaracen. Might be Neil Atkinson, maybe Stuart Norell, but we'll find out later as we go throughout the show. And then in hour number 2, it is James Teague from the Teague Law Firm. That's a guy that knows what it's like to sit around for some rain delays, and I think that's what we're going to be doing today and maybe even tomorrow. And in just a moment, the guy who is tweeting so much these days about the big pig invasion, Aaron Torres, stopping by halftime in just a moment, so stay with us.
The Cal era is here. Championship Under Construction is brought to you by Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMaleMedical.com. This is the Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast presented by White-Curd Realtors, the Griffin Company.
Don't expect this to be overnight. Don't expect that this thing's going to be solidified. But I guarantee you don't do what these guys have done over the years without having plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, and all 4 of them are going to be really good plans.
Subscribe to the Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, and share.
It's spring cleaning sale time at Jelco Outdoors. Savings from 50 to 75% off on select clothing, footwear, hunting and fishing equipment, casual clothing, hunting clothing, work clothing for men, women, and children, work boots, safety shoes, western boots, all 50 to 75% off. Rods, reels, baits, hunting equipment, all 50 to 75% off. Select group of handguns, rifles, and shotguns in the firearms department at cost or below. Don't miss the big spring cleaning sale at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Happy birthday, dear Megan. Happy birthday to you.
Why did they have this party outside?
Wants cake.
Mosquitoes are terrible.
Let's get out of here. I'm getting eaten alive.
Mosquitoes sucking the life out of your party? Call Mosquito Joe for an effective, affordable solution for keeping your backyard bite and itch-free. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com for a free quote or call 479-202-9960.
Mom, everyone's leaving. This bites.
MosquitoJoe.com. Outside is fun again.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith, or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
So swift.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
All guests join us on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. Remember, McLartyDaniel.com. When you're looking for a great deal, you can visit any of their 6 locations in Springdale or Bentonville. And on that hotline right now is Aaron Torres from the Aaron Torres Sports Podcast and Aaron Torres Media, Fox Sports Radio. Good morning, AT. As you just asked me the question, and I see you ask the question on your social media all the time, especially when the Razorbacks get a big commit, will you tell me what is going to stop the big pig invasion?
What is going to stop the big pig? You know what's going to stop the big pig invasion, Phil? A scholarship limit. I mean, eventually we're going to have a full roster. He's not going to be able to recruit anymore. But listen, I know the last couple weeks there's been a lot of back and forth between both the Kentucky and Arkansas fan bases. I think this proves, Calipari is a huge brand unto himself. I think there was a lot of speculation, not by me, but by some, like, you commit to Kentucky, but are you really going to go to Arkansas if if you have no ties to the school, whatever? Well, essentially, let's just say this. 3 out of the 4 guys that he really wanted are following him. Obviously, there's a lot of speculation on Jaden Quaintance. I don't know what's true and what's not and why he eliminated Arkansas. But I think that speaks to the brand of John Calipari, and I think it's something Arkansas fans will embrace. It's not just talented people. It's loyal people. They love him. Kenny Payne could have gone to the NBA, comes to Arkansas. Chin Coleman has called Calipari the GOAT in interviews. And so I think what it speaks to is, Calipari's a man of his word. And I think more importantly, people are loyal to him. People love him. People swear by him. And obviously, really 4 big-time players if you include Big Z. But, the 3 high school recruits plus Big Z. Now we get ready for a portal weekend, and the Big Pig Invasion ain't slowing down, baby. Big Pig Invasion ain't slowing down.
That's exactly right, man. And, I mean, it felt like with Richmond and with Carter Knox and with Fland, it was just going to happen as soon as they came and visited. A guy like Jonas Adu, I mean, he's got other suitors. He's more of a known quantity, I guess it might be the right way to put it, because he's already played big-time college basketball, so he's making other visits too. That's a different thing than getting a Richmond or a Knox or somebody that was already committed to Cal as a high schooler, or even in the case of like Knox and Richmond, where they have connections, family connections to him. Adu's a different story. That's also somebody you'd love to get. Someone that just kind of destroyed Arkansas when he played against him.
Well, what I need to say about Jonas Adu is you're 100% right, Phil. It's a different beast, and the portal. By the way, even guys that you have a relationship with in the portal I think it has become largely transactional now. Like it sucks. You don't want it. You don't want this to be where college sports is, but it is in fact where it is. But what I will say about Adu is, the fact that you got him on campus, period, I think is a great testament to Coach Cal and what he's going to be building for next year. Is that one, I know that a lot of people, I had heard, I don't have this on great authority, but that Baylor was the favorite, and I think there were people that thought that Baylor, that basically we weren't going to get out of last weekend without Jonas Adu being a Baylor Bear. And so the fact that you even get him on campus, I think is a testament to the brand, to Calipari, whatever. Now, of course, Adu is from Carolina. He's going to visit Carolina supposedly after this one. But I think, the portal is a completely different beast, and, yeah, you're not going to win with 4 players total, 3 of them being freshmen. You obviously need some veterans. But, you're targeting the biggest names. There seems to be interest. We've seen the rumors about John L. Davis. Brandon Garrison is going to be there this week. I would assume that at some point DJ Wagner, who I think I'm higher on than most people, is going to at least visit Arkansas, if not seriously consider it and maybe even commit. So it's great to have the freshmen. To your point, everybody's in the portal right now, but it seems like you're targeting the biggest names, the most talent, and I think even more importantly, talent that fits the other guys that you already have in the program as well.
Hey, Aaron, how good is it Kadari Richmond?
Oh, he's good. Well, he's really good. He first of all, he entered the portal after his true freshman year. He played at Syracuse. That was when Boeheim was still there. And I think even then people said, this is a guy that has, some real NBA upside to him. Goes to Seton Hall this year, whatever it was, 16, 7, and 7 or whatever it was. Really talented player. I do think St. John's thinks that they're in pretty good shape with him. Listen, you can get that kid on campus. I mean, that is a big, big, big win. But he's as good as any guard that's entered the portal. Has his moments. I mean, listen, if anybody was the perfect player, they wouldn't be in college. They'd be in the NBA. But I think as far as guards and lead guards specifically, him entering yesterday is about as big a news as we've had all offseason from the portal perspective.
What's up with Alabama? I forgot, what was the name of the kid who just transferred over from
Rylan Griffin?
Rylan Griffin. That's right. That one kind of came by surprise, kind of the same as Jeremy Roach leaving Duke. Transferring to Baylor. I mean, it's a great program, but team captain at Duke. It's just, I guess these kind of felt almost the same.
Yeah, the Bama stuff is interesting, and I was kind of the guy leading the charge. Really, I was leading the charge all year that they were a year ahead of schedule, and next year is the year they're building for, and so they get out of the final. They make a Final Four, which obviously first time in school history. It was really cool to be part of that and to see them there down in Phoenix. But then you assume that most of the marquee players that can come back will. And that, if anything, Mark Sears is going to test the NBA draft waters. Grant Nelson said after the game he's going to test the NBA draft waters. But to lose a guy who, I don't know. I mean, was he the sixth? All I know is he scored double figures in 3 of their last 4 tournament games. And so I just bring it up because you're clearly getting playing time. You're clearly getting shots. I don't want to speculate or start rumors or anything, but I found that one weird when he entered the portal to begin with, and then to go to Kansas. I know that had been speculated for a while, but Kansas has added kind of 3 either backcourt or wing players this offseason in the portal already, and so you just wonder: are you going for a bigger role? What do you go? Obviously we know we're in an NIL world, but you wouldn't think that Alabama would strictly be getting outbid. So that's what I haven't totally figured out. But I would also say with Bama, too, Nate Oates has proven they're going to be fine, and they're going to be really well coached. And I'm not too worried about them. But that was one of the more surprising ones I think I've seen all offseason, Phil, to be honest.
Our conversations about college basketball have extended farther into April than I can ever remember since I've been doing this show. Well, I just want to play devil's advocate for a quick moment with those who say that the transfer portal is bad for college basketball, and I see all the points that they make, and I think that a lot of them are really good points. But we just watched the first round of the NFL draft. That's the thing that really took the NFL from something that was about a season where you're playing and turned it into a year-long industry. And now they've extended the playoffs out, and it really is 12 months a year. College football, 12 months a year, man. This transfer portal, and I know a lot of this also has to do with the coaching carousel, but the portal goes along with that now. Nobody's talked about college basketball this late into April that I remember at this level, at least as far as I've been doing this show. And the more I always hear, the more you talk about something, the better it is for that industry.
Bill, there's zero doubt. And, listen, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, but I was on this pretty early, is that and I think the other thing, too, is that you just follow what the fans want. And so when I see the reaction, even 2-3 years ago, I do a portal segment, roundup, update, whatever, people were really into it. And so I've just rode that wave. Now, I do think, to your point, and by the way, I said this the night that John Calipari unofficially accepted the job that Sunday night. I said, this is going to be the biggest college basketball boon of content that we've maybe ever seen, because obviously at the time Kentucky was in the midst of a coaching search, and both Kentucky and Arkansas were essentially going to have to replace like 12, 13, 14 scholarship players. And so I said from the beginning, I said, this is going to be the biggest content thing that we've ever seen in college basketball. But to your point, I've said this for about 2 or 3 years, is that I love college hoops, but really up until about 3 summers ago, it was maybe there's a 5-star that hasn't committed. I remember one year Chet Holmgren kind of waited till, May or June or whatever, maybe not May, but late April. Every once in a while there would be a kid that decommitted, but there was nothing there. And then it's just like April just becomes another month where it's like now, I mean, I can't speak for you guys, but I'm guessing you've probably had all sorts of, I don't want to say records, but like I'm guessing the interest in what you're doing is probably at a level that you probably haven't seen much in April, especially for basketball. I know for me, it's without a question. And so I agree with you, is that I think it's like a free agency period. And I think beyond that, it kind of comes after the season, where I think even college football, that portal window is kind of overlapping with bowl season. It kind of overlaps with the playoff prep. And it's like, I don't feel like the portal season gets the full excitement that it should, where college basketball, it really is kind of a natural postseason free agency that, to your point, Phil, we're a full 3 weeks removed from the Final Four, and we're still full speed ahead. And guess what, guys? Arkansas still got like 7 more scholarships to fill, so it's not like we're going to be stopping talking about this anytime soon.
That's exactly right. That was going to be the next point I make, and this is going to last for quite a while. AT, we're right up against it, man. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the NFL draft, and who knows who commits by the time we talk next week.
All right, guys. Good luck. I wish you luck trying to stop the big pig invasion. Nobody has yet. Good luck.
None of us here are trying to stop that. We're just trying to get on top of the pig and ride it as it invades whatever it is it's going to invade. Aaron Torres with us on the Aaron Torres from the Aaron Torres Sports Podcast. Want to thank Crabtree RV Center for their sponsorship. That's the place you're going to go, and you're making adventure plans for the summer, and you're looking for an RV for your family. Well, then we'll help you find the perfect RV for your family's adventures. The service and parts department is on site, and everything you need in between at Crabtree RV Center. Over 70 years and 4 generations, and also online at crabtreerv.com. They are pouring through the entrance at Lumber One at Industrial Park Drive in Van Buren. Giveaways, door prizes, and me and Matt kind of looking over everybody from above. You can give us a call or a text on the McLarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Halftime will be right back.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
If you're like most people, you've had your fair share of financial questions. Questions like, can I afford my son's travel hockey team? What if my daughter doesn't get that soccer scholarship? Will I be able to enjoy golf in retirement? At Empower, we know these questions can be stressful. We're here to help answer your what ifs and empower what's next. Join 18 million Americans and take control of your financial future. Start today at empower.com.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Pay attention. This happens fast. You need money. You get a job. Turns out that job doesn't pay near enough for the nonsense it puts you through every day. You want to move fast. The clock moves slow. You're smart, though. You know machines. You want to work at a place as fast as you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations. Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacale, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the #1 source for all your sports betting this season and every season. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends all at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. The fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite leagues and events. Go to betonline.ag to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure you use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. Bet online, where the game starts.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yeah.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can
769-63. Now back to halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Matt Jones on 8 said recently it's time to be recruiting Memphis really hard. And this Billy Richmond is from Memphis. Played his last year in New Jersey, Camden, New Jersey. So many kids go play their last year of high school somewhere else. His father played for Cal at Memphis, Billy Richmond, and he is the owner of Wing Guru Restaurant. Not a bad place, actually. I've not eaten there before. Apparently, Ty's eaten there, and I think
it's fire.
You're probably going to be ordering 200 wings a month now from him, aren't you?
I'm going there to Memphis next month, so I will be stopping by. Last time, me and a buddy split 50 wings, and we were full.
What sauce did y'all get?
Man, Matt, we got like 5 different ones, dude.
Yeah.
10.
I love it.
It was.
Y'all, do you do the bone in or
got to,
traditional?
Man.
Wings without bones are not wings.
They're nuggets.
They're
nuggets.
Sauce nuggets.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
We need to be logical about
You put
these
those
things.
in your salad, right? Yeah.
They can go in a salad.
Yeah.
Or you can do what I did yesterday. You can cut the chicken off the bone and put it in the salad. That's a little extra work. It's a little extra work.
Yeah, but for your craft, I see you.
I try to be logical about that thing. If the big yellow pole's a fair pole, then a wing without an actual bone in it is not a wing. I'm going to stick with that.
But you can't. If they're accurate. You can always throw it at somebody.
Yes, you can.
You're a little more accurate.
That's right. Yeah, funny how the wings without the bones fly better than the wings with the bones when a human being throws them. Wing Guru, and I don't mean this to be a commercial for them, but I looked at their website. 4 different levels of hotness. There is mild, which is not hot. Medium, which to some people is very hot. Hot, which to me is hot. And then insane, which I think is probably the thing you'd have to sign a waiver for.
I
you
don't
ever sign a waiver for food?
Absolutely not. I don't understand why every time you go to places like that, they put garlic up there. But give me garlic in the Nashville. Give me garlic on the mild hot garlic. But they always put the garlic on the hottest one.
The garlic, to me, when I see garlic on a sauce for wings, all it means is that it's extra belchy.
Yeah,
at least for me.
I do the dry rub, and then you get the sauce to dip it in. But I always try to figure what kind of dry rubs they got, because that looks like that's the liquid sauce.
I don't see it right there. They got dry season, and then one called wet season, which I'd like to. I think I'd like to get into. I'd like to get into wing marketing at some point.
You got the coolest job out of all of us.
We saw. I don't know if he's listening right now. John Thomas. He used to be sports information director, baseball in Arkansas. He used to ride in the car with me when we were around, and I think it was in Tuscaloosa. We saw this was my favorite name ever for a wing place, and it was in an old Waffle House. You could tell because it had the old Waffle House sign with the exact amount of letters spaced just the way that it is, and the same amount of letters in Waffle House is the same amount of letters in the restaurant called Exotic Wings, which kind of felt like a melding of 2 places, one part exotic, one part wings.
So are they like different birds? Like a Cornish hen, maybe?
I don't know.
Like a chucker? Yeah.
It gave me a moment where I could play wing marketer and went places that you're just really probably not supposed to go.
Maybe a peacock.
Speaking of places, peacock wings.
That's exotic, right?
Ostrich wings. That would be an exotic animal for wings. Pig wings, because of course they don't. When pigs fly, there you go. They got them over at Exotic
Maybe
Wings.
Even get Manu Ginobili to sponsor it and get some bat wings.
That's right. So
no, I'm going out. I heard it started yet.
I like that one. No,
Yeah,
this is exactly what I do.
Yeah.
It's like I used to sit around the dinner table with my family, and we would come up with weird ice cream flavors. Doing that at the age of 7, I'm doing it 40 years later. Speaking of exoticness, Eduardo, the Sherpa, is being exotic right now. He is probably getting stormed on somewhere on Petit Jean Mountain on his way up to the top so he can scream out to all of his followers down below about Hog Delight recipe for this weekend. Eduardo, how are you?
Well, I hope we get to, I'm like you, the series, is very important. At Baum Stadium, this series taking place against the Gators. Always good to beat the Gators and the Tigers all in one season, and I can't wait to the night when Hagen Smith steps up to the mound and does his magic with that arm of his. We're fixing to find out. I said the other day, here we go down the stretch. And you know what? My money's on the Hog pitching. And so we're fixing to find out down the stretch, does pitching negate hitting? We're fixing to find that answer out. But I believe this. I believe, there's a song, traditional songs at baseball park. You've heard Sweet Caroline. You've heard The Glory Days by Bruce Springsteen. You've heard, Take Me Out to the Ballpark by Harry Carey. But let me say this. There's a song, some of their stuff I don't really care for. I'm a fan of all artists. But Nelly and Lunatics wrote a big hit. And let me tell you, batter up. And so I'd like to see the bats get heated up against the Gators in this series. And, and take it down the stretch. And take it to the Wildcats. And feed them a big bowl of that recipe I talk about.
The recipe is going to be just a little bit more moist than usual, probably a little more of a damp recipe this weekend, Eddie. So, I mean, there's got to be multiple kinds of Hog Delight. But, yeah, this to me it feels like an opportunity to really start to get the bats going and expecting to get Jared Sprague-Lott back in the lineup this weekend, and Kendall Diggs hopefully continues to rebound from the shoulder. You're facing a pitching staff with an ERA of 6.35. It's over 6 in SEC games. The kid that's throwing, I think he's supposed to throw the first game of the series, Pierce Coppola, he's got an ERA of 18. I mean, it's as ugly as it gets. He's pitched in 2 games, given up 6 runs in 3 innings. So I'm sure he's plenty talented. Otherwise, he wouldn't be throwing for Florida on a weekend. But his season started late, and he's got an ugly-looking earned run average. So, yeah, absolutely. This is an opportunity to get the bats going and kind of continue to, throw Florida down the hole a little bit here. It's just shocking to see a team that was 1 win away from a national championship last year. And heck, I mean, they even they lost the center fielder who was so good, Wyatt Langford, but they added Colby Shelton, who was one of the top freshmen in the country last year at Alabama. He's hitting well. Hitting's not their issue. This is a power-laden team. Yeah, they strike out a lot, but it's a frightening-looking lineup. They are 3rd in the nation, hitting 90 home runs. And they got this Jack Caglione. He has hit a home run in 10 of the last 11 games. The crazy thing is they're 3-7 in the games he's hit a home run in. You're supposed to win the games when your star hits a home run for you, and they're not doing that. They were doing that last year. They had much better pitching last year, and I think that's what's kind of done them in. But they have a lot of the same guys that were in the lineup for them last year: Evans, Shelnut, and then Caglione. So kind of a bit of a surprise there. 877-377-6963 calls and texts on the McLarty Daniel hotline.
Florida going to be a tournament team? Are they going to be in?
Not right now.
Yeah,
not right now. They're 21-19. 8-10 in the SEC.
So they better get hot, right?
Well, they've lost too many midweek games.
Yeah.
To where
8-10. I thought if you had above 500 average or in the SEC, you had a chance.
Usually that goes along with winning your midweek games.
Yeah,
those games still
fair
count.
Enough.
You can win your games on the weekend and in the SEC. That's going to carry a lot of weight. But as many games as they've lost in the midweek, and especially to where some of those losses have come from, and some of it's good teams, but I feel like usually if you finish 500 in the SEC, you finish with 16 wins out of 30 league games, you should be in.
You got a chance, yeah.
But if Florida finishes just 2 games over 500 in the SEC, then that means they're probably only 3 or 4 games over 500 overall, and their midweek schedule ends up becoming the thing that does them in. Losses to Stetson, losses to UCF, losses to Jacksonville, being dominated by Florida State a couple of times. That's a really good Florida State team, but one win over Florida State would probably go a long way for them, and they haven't pulled that off. So, no, right now they're not a tournament team. And if they, they're a team that's got to be desperate. Arkansas is not desperate. They're trying to win every game they play, but I think Florida comes in a really, really desperate ball club. And, yeah, the boneless wings are just buffalo nuggets or nuggets, and I think we've gotten to a point where we all just sort of appreciate that.
They say alligator bites, and then did somebody ever say, yeah, go ahead, it tastes kind of like chicken? It's like, well, why don't I just get chicken?
Good question.
Right.
You and I belong at Exotic Wings sometime. I didn't look for it when I was in Tuscaloosa the last time. Wasn't really the part of town I wanted to be searching for some restaurant that used to be a Waffle House. Stay with us. We'll wrap up hour number 1 at Lumber One on Industrial Park Drive in Van Buren in just a moment.
This is halftime.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $425 off of your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Attention homeowners, storms are firing up quickly and widespread damage means thousands are reaching out for the right roofing company. Don't wait. Get on the schedule with Shamrock Roofing and Construction now for quality and peace of mind. One call does it all. Shamrock Roofing and Construction, call 479-319-5100. Need new roof? Shamrock Roofing and Construction can have you covered right now for as low as $139.99 with approved credit. For quality and peace of mind, one call does it all. Shamrock Roofing and Construction, call 479-319-5100.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Walk-Ons is always a win. Whether it's a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner, Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and coming soon to Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
You can probably hear it through the background. It is a busy day at Lumber One in Van Buren on Industrial Park Drive. We've got Bill with us here. Bill from Van Buren, right? That's what your son said I'm supposed to call you.
That's it.
You've
seen my text before on Get That Line, yeah.
Yes, I've seen the texts. I don't know if you've made the call, though, so is this the first time you're on the air?
Yeah, I'm not much of I'm a socialite, but when it comes to radio and stuff, not so much.
So this is like a first time, long time then, right?
It is. When we opened, we had you guys up for when we first opened up, and we haven't had anybody since it's been probably 15 years.
Wow. So, all right, we're celebrating Customer Appreciation today. There's a number that went along with it. How many years now?
This is 22. Yeah,
Long
we
time
started
to do anything for 22 years.
We started in 2002, and this is our 22nd year, and it's always a really, really good turnout, and it's just something that we do to for our customers, and it's just thank you. It's a type of thank you. We got drawings going on. We got free hamburgers, free hot dogs, and so if there's anybody out there that would like to come out and get a free hamburger, hot dog, feel free to sign up for the drawings we have.
You
feel
can
free
smell
to.
the meat when you walk in. You just kind of follow your nose. But then everyone's just signing up here. I see. Well, how are those drills that I'm looking at?
Those
you have to forgive me because I don't know all of the stuff that's in here.
They are drills. There's a little bit of everything down there, and we are a big DeWalt distributor, and so the drawings right now are mostly for the DeWalt, all the DeWalt power tools.
Very good. So we're giving some of that away. I saw somebody almost blind himself in the giant light that's right there. He didn't realize that it was going to be as bright as it was. That was kind of entertaining during a commercial break. Not like I'm into, people blinding themselves.
Exactly.
Just the look on his face was at least entertaining enough. And how long has this location been open? Because this hasn't been 22 years.
No, we started at the airport over in Van Buren. It used to be the airport, and that's where we started. Then we moved, and we just built this, and we moved in at the end of August. And really proud of the new building, and it was it was a little late coming, but we finally got it going. And it's this is what we've always envisioned to have.
It's a one-stop shop for home building, right?
It is. It's so much more for a contractor base. If you're going to put in a deck, if you're going to add a room onto your house, if you just need if you need power tools, I mean this is where it's at right here.
What if I wanted to build a home radio studio? So that nothing echoes off of walls and tile.
We could do. We don't have the tile to do that, but we can order.
No, I don't want tile.
Oh, you don't
I want
want
something
tile.
that covers the tile up, or if I wanted to turn a little closet into a radio studio,
we could do that.
You can see the wheels turning in my head here, right, Lance?
Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. And we could probably give it to you at a really cheap price
too.
Ooh.
So I probably have to go find the microphones and all the audio cable and all of that stuff
That's
somewhere
all,
else.
That's all on you.
But as far as building the room is concerned. All right.
That's on us.
We might talk a little bit after the show. We'll see. Oh, but I got a book up to Baum. You might too. Longtime season ticket holder at baseball.
Section 101, the best section in beautiful Baum. I mean, we're the palm trees. We are the K's. Jim Eaton is.
I know Jim.
Is my mentor. And he puts all the Ks out. We've been doing it for years. And
I think I ran a 5K with Jim in the 2018 College World Series.
You did. You absolutely did.
I don't think I felt very good about 2/3 of the way through.
You finished at TD Ameritrade or whatever it's called now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you guys all fans are active at Bone Walker, but it does seem like Section 101 stands out. You guys have a lot of props.
We've got a lot of props. If you didn't know the history behind the beer hats, We have two gentlemen that started the beer hats, Kyle Thompson and Jim Tran, along with two other people years ago, and I really don't know who they are.
Which was the first beer hat? Because we've got like 2 or 3 versions now.
The first one was the one with the green bill.
Yes.
They bought them at Target for $1. They were closing them out after St. Patrick's Day.
Kind of almost looked like it belonged on a box of Lucky Charms.
Exactly.
Now the new ones are more yellow.
Yeah, they've kind of.
You don't sound like you approve.
They've kind of dolled them up a little bit. I've got the old ones, so I'm kind of partial to. I'm an older guy, so I kind of go back to the originals. Yeah.
Are you trying to tell me that there's such a thing as an old school bases loaded beer hat at a Razorback baseball game?
There is.
Okay.
There is. And as a matter of fact, the true beer hats that you saw up in Max Landing and right field, that's not really the original beer hats. That's kind of a makeover.
Do you have one of these, Matt? Beer hat?
I do not, but I've seen yours. Yeah, they're pretty sharp.
Lance has 2 of them, so
Okay.
he might have one to give you
Okay.
at some point. He doesn't have 2 heads. He might have 2. No, you don't. You don't have 2 faces. I'm joking. But you might get one. You'd look good with a beer hat on.
You would look. Go from 6'7".
I'm like Tom Waits.
6'7" to 7 foot. You just don't want to sit in front of anybody.
Don't worry. You
There
feel
you go.
ridiculous putting it on if you're just doing it alone or amongst people who have no idea.
It's like a Marge Simpson hat, right?
You do it. It's exactly right.
yeah.
It is exactly right. You do it at Baum Walker or like the other night at Dickie Stevens. You're not going to be the only one doing it, and you only do it when bases are loaded anyway. So then you can take the thing down, but you can't have my hand knit one. Which the girl who knits in left field made one for me and one for Bubba, and that thing never leaves the booth.
Right.
A little superstitious
Yeah,
about that.
and I mean, the older the hat, the better it is. I mean, you get it broke in a little bit and get it a little bit dirty.
like a baseball glove.
You don't
That's
wash
right.
it. Exactly. It's just like a baseball hat. You don't wash it.
It's just like a baseball glove. You got to oil the hat too.
Exactly.
No one's ever oiled a hat, have they? All right. Thank you very much, Bill, for having us out here and for 22 years with Lumber One, and we'll talk again in about an hour.
Okay, that'll work.
Very good. We're at Lumber One, Industrial Park Drive, Van Buren. Come out, get some free food, sign up for some cool stuff, and halftime is right back in a moment.
Drive a compact SUV that has more style, power, and technology with the 2023 Buick Envision at Harry Robinson Buick GMC right now. Get 1.9% financing for 60 months on remaining 2023 Buick Envisions. Or choose up to $3,500 in factory discounts. The Buick Envision, it's all about you and designed to inspire. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
When it's time for breakfast, Calico County is making it all from scratch. You got the dedicated early morning crew at Calico are cooking up and serving buttermilk pancakes, moist biscuits, rich waffles, country fried potatoes, 3 types of gravy, and of course their famous cinnamon rolls and much more. They serve all of this and a lot more 7 days a week until 11 a.m. Stop in, call ahead, or get it to go. Or just come by and pick up a dozen cinnamon rolls for the office. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, roll on into Calico County. They're home cooking good. Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing has everything you need for your favorite activities. Our knowledgeable staff will be glad to help you with the current specials and our new arrivals of must-have bourbons and whiskeys. Hit the cooler for some of the coldest beer in town or choose from our large selection of amazing wines. Order online or call ahead Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing. Barrels and Brews, voted best of the best in Fort Smith. It will put a smile on your face.
ESPN Arkansas weather. For today, active weather expected to increase. We could see the potential for large hail, damaging winds, and the potential for some tornadoes this afternoon through the early part of tonight. High temperatures today in the low to mid 70s. We'll see a chance of showers and strong storms early tonight. Overnight lows near 65. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that would respect you.
Live from the Busch Lights Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin State dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones may take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
For one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field out.
Call or text on the McLarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back in hour number 2, halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. I'm Phil Elson with Matt Jones. Ty Richardson is producing back at the ESPN Arkansas headquarters. We're live at Lumber One, Industrial Park Drive, Van Buren, celebrating 22 years, customer appreciation. And, boy, nothing has slowed down here at all. Folks are walking through the aisles, getting a look at I keep calling it stuff. I should probably use the term merchandise, because we're in a professional location here. It's not just stuff. You got some cool stuff, Tell me about your merchandise, sir. Everything from Diablo to DeWalt, Senko, Grip-Right, Quickset, everything. Milwaukee, great place to be.
It's a Tim the Toolman Taylor type of spot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I see this story coming here about the Baltimore Ravens. They picked Nate Wiggins, cornerback out of Clemson.
I like him.
They took him after getting constant reminders from Dabo Swinney that he was still on the board. And apparently Swinney had texted a bunch of other teams the same thing to remind them that his guy is still available. You got to like that.
Do you remember what Dabo said about Deshaun Watson when he came out?
Mm-mm.
He said, if you pass on him, you're passing on the Michael Jordan of quarterbacks. He loves his guys. That you heard Saban talking about his guys. You got to kind of take a little bit of it. But that's why you would love to play for Dabo Swinney. Like if you're a college kid, and because once you're with him and y'all are together, he's got your back, and you believe it. So. But, yeah, saying that, and Deshaun Watson's a G. I mean, he's really good at being quarterback. He had some stuff off the field, and he's kind of getting back into it. But as far as talent-wise, but I remember his comment saying if you pass on Deshaun Watson, you're passing on the Michael Jordans of quarterbacks, yeah.
What did you think, speaking of coaches, what did you think of Saban yesterday? It was like the first episode of College Game Day for next year in a sense.
I loved all his sales pitches. I loved what he stands for, how he goes about it. You're a salesman. That's for sure. You're always selling a message and being true to it. And I think he's been preaching the same message for years. So I think that's who he is. How do you not want to hear Saban talk football? Like if I was like, Herb Street, shut up. Like he keeps talking over him, and you're like, hey, Herbie. But he's excited too. Like everybody's got to be excited to be around him. And there's nothing worse than radio or television with people trying to talk over each other. And there was a little bit of that. But I'm a Saban fan. I like that's another coach that you'd love to play for.
I still love hearing when he gets just a little fired up. When he starts dropping in the eye and starts moving his hands. Kind of like he's chopping meat.
A three-way
with his
player.
Yeah.
You got to be able to go this. Yeah.
Those hands just keep chopping meat. Or maybe it's chopping broccoli. I don't know, but I mean, he's working with something there.
What about your DN Chop from Penn State? Man, his story was so cool. Watching him, I think that's another guy. Phil, I know I told you this when we got here. I really believe the position players that were picked in this draft are going to be stars. It's just weird how it goes with this 6 quarterbacks going in the first 12 picks, but those first couple position players off the board, man, they're going to be stars.
Who aren't? But the quarterbacks are the story.
He went to Miami. That's Alyssa Orange's team. That's why I remember. Yeah. They got a good one right there. Yeah.
But the quarterbacks are the story here.
That's the story. You got to have one and you can't win. That's the first and foremost. You got to have a quarterback. Atlanta went from having 0 to having 2.
I wonder with Jaden Daniels, is he RG3, the second coming? You know, a guy that's going to have a great rookie year, but isn't protected, gets injured. You know, get out and run. I mean, he kind of profiles as the same kind of player that Griffin was.
I think he's going to struggle, and I'm not against the kid in any way. I want him to win every Super Bowl. I want all these kids to have success, but I think the Commanders reached on him. I think he's going to struggle.
I think there's just the feeling of
that division
of pressure to draft a quarterback. And look, I mean, what were they going to do? They weren't going to stick with who was back there for them this last year. I can't even remember who was a quarterback.
Well, they fired Del Rio was their D coordinator. They fired some coaches. Remember, they had signed the OC Bellamy from Kansas City a couple years. They kept trying to get to the right guy, but they were a mess last year. That's why they were picking 2 in the draft.
Here we got Charlie on hold here. We got a little bit of time for phone calls. Next segment's going to be James Teague from the Teague Law Firm talking Arkansas baseball and something about the law. Let's go to the McLarty Daniel hotline. Here is Charlie. What's up, Charlie? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm about to try to lay the law down for you guys real quick. I'm about to lay it down. All right, listen. Matt Jones, who was honking at me? Hold on. Oh my God!
Are we getting into? Are we having a road rage segment now, Charlie? You're the most. You and Cody are the 2 chillest callers that we ever have. Are we about to have a road rage segment?
No. Somebody had pulled up, brought me something to eat. But anyway, what I got. So, Matt, do you think you're talking about reaching? I think that happens in general for quarterbacks. Do you think Atlanta reached there for Penix? I actually like the situation for Penix though, because although I did see a little post that said Cousins wasn't too happy about it. Like, dude, you're coming off a torn Achilles, and, you know, they're a little worried about that. But if Penix can sit a year or two, what do you think about his chances? I worry that he because I know Aaron Rodgers, when he came out, there was, like, documented, like, he had a throwing motion that was too much of a wind-up, so he kind of changed it. But he had time to do that. He had 3 years to sit. For Cousins, I mean, I think he's got – what do you think he has, Matt? Maybe 2 or 3 years left? Because I don't know how he's going to look after this injury. So that's my question with him. And Phil, on baseball, are they throwing out that crazy first baseman tonight?
No, Caglione. They don't start Caglione until the 3rd game of a series. So he'd pitch.
Okay.
And I think they got to figure out what to do about Sunday, because Sunday looks like a wash, and I just feel like we'll have the same kind of weekend like we had.
Good weekend too.
Yeah, you got it. Penix is going to be 24 early next month.
Guy. Yeah,
24 early next month. What's the Cousins contract? 3 years. So Cousins is 35. He's 38 when that contract comes to an end. Maybe he is near the end of his career. I mean, he's coming off of the Achilles tear. I mean, that's not where you're going to have these 2 older quarterbacks that are trying to bounce back from that same injury. Obviously, the Falcons must have seen everything they need to see as far as the injury is concerned, because they signed him to $100 million guaranteed. But I mean, this is an idea of a guy who's 24 that if Cousins plays out the contract, he doesn't really start his career until he's 27.
Well, Cousins is a B quarterback. He's not a quarterback that's on the list that can win a Super Bowl. For Michael Penix, this is the 100% the best situation you could dream of. You get to come in and learn from a pro, from a veteran. Cousins ran the Redskins. He ran the Vikings, so he knows what he's doing. Man, glean everything you can. Soak it up. Watch how he goes about it. If you're Raheem Morris, you're thinking, well, am I going to be here in 4 years to even coach this kid? I thought the kid from Texas, that D tackle, he was. I mean, I think that's a steal. I think he went 15 to the Seahawks. I thought the hometown kid, Brock Bowers, the tight end, would have been a guy there. But Cousins he's not going to elevate them and win a Super Bowl, but he can teach Penix the right ways. And then maybe in 2 years, Penix is your quarterback, and maybe you can still trade Cousins for something. But it doesn't help them win right away.
Spencer Rattler is still out there. I think he could be a good
It kind of reminds me of Jeff Garcia. You remember Jeff Garcia?
Yes.
I think that's kind of the mold of a Spencer. Like, he kind of reminds me of somebody like that.
Jeff Garcia hung around in the NFL for a long time.
He was a serviceable starter, yeah.
I think Rattler could turn into a pretty good NFL quarterback. I just wonder about Penix. Is he really – I mean, that's an 8th overall pick. You pick somebody 8th overall, you're expecting that player to be a star. Is Penix going to be a star?
Well, and that's the thing. So if you start, Kurt knows this. You're getting your money, which that's good and all. But competitors, and he wants to compete. But if you go 6-10 at Atlanta this year, then they're going to be shouting, "We got to start Penix next year." They're going to be ready to move. So it's kind of controversy right in the way. So you better hope that Penix is the guy, and that's what they're doing. He must have been their number one quarterback. I thought you could have dropped back and got him if you could have found a way to make a trade or get back a little bit. But there's so many, I think, stars that went after that that are position players that could have helped you win right away.
Well, I mean, and it's not up to me to make a decision about whether or not he's going to be a star or not. Obviously, the folks with the Falcons fell in love with him. Otherwise, you wouldn't have taken him where you did.
I like Penix. I'm a fan of Penix. Yeah.
877-377-6963 for calls and texts. Anything you want to get into on the NFL draft, which resumes later tonight at 6 o'clock, right about the time that we should get going with Arkansas baseball. Hopefully, 5:30 airtime as it does continue to rain here in Van Buren, and looks like it's still raining up in Fayetteville as well. Hey, remember, the best Tex-Mex and the better service is at Joe's Grill and Cantina. It is Friday, and that means it's Fajita Friday. You get charbroiled steak and chicken, tender, full of flavor, coming with all the extras. Tomorrow is endless enchiladas with Joe's homemade enchilada sauce. You can also start celebrating Cinco de Mayo with Joe's Grill and Cantina starting today through Sunday. Fun for the entire family. Got food, drink specials, margarita specials, and food specials. They are open on Monday, too. Endless enchiladas all day tomorrow. So get over to Joe's Grill and Cantina for Cinco de Mayo for family fun all weekend. They are ready to celebrate with you. Stay tuned. James Teague from the Teague Law Firm talking Arkansas baseball in just a moment on Halftime.
The Cal era is here. Championship Under Construction is brought to you by Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMaleMedical.com.
Wanted to find someone who would embrace Arkansas and the opportunities to build on a rich tradition that includes 22 conference titles, 14 Sweet 16 appearances, 11 Elite 8 appearances, 6 Final Fours, and a 1994 NCAA championship.
The head coach of your Arkansas Razorbacks, John Calipari.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. Westart Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact Westart Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drain, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
Pay attention. This happens fast. You need money. You get a job. Turns out that job doesn't pay near enough for the nonsense it puts you through every day. You want to move fast, but the clock moves slow. You're smart, though. You know machines. You want to work at a place as fast as you. You call Medley Equipment Company. They need a technician, and they'll teach you everything you need to know to be the best, with pay raises all along. Because Medley keeps you moving.
I'm Branch Manager Dennis Mabry. Visit medleycompany.com or see us at 4001 Harper Avenue, Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $425 off of your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Okay, now I'm the only one. Sweet.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
All guests join halftime on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. That's where we have James Teague right now from the Teague Law Firm and former Arkansas right-handed pitcher. Good afternoon, James. We're kind of right where we were a week ago, although I was in Columbia, South Carolina, and it was getting ready to rain over the weekend. Well, right now I'm in Van Buren, and it's raining right now, and who knows what's going to happen as far as the next couple of days are concerned. I hope we get in 3 games.
Yeah, we'll see. We know we need the rain, so it's always everyone always says that, oh, we needed this rain, we got to use this rain, but it seems like it tends to come at the wrong time in terms of the extracurricular activities, despite the need for it.
You were there for 2016 when we sat through, gosh, I think it was 2.5 or 3 hours at Cliff Hagan Field, the previous ballpark for Kentucky baseball. We only got in 2 games, I think, that weekend, and I think one of those was, I think they were both in a doubleheader. But I remember seeing you guys sitting there in a dugout, which was, by the way, I thought it was a death trap too, because just everything about that stadium felt really dangerous. Just a lot of exposed brick. The railing in the dugout was not nailed down properly or screwed in properly, and they made you sit there waiting in the rain. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, I think so. That was a tough one for me because I had a couple bad outings in a row, and we actually had burned a lot of arms because we were just trying to find guys who could throw. And it was me
and another freshman who hadn't thrown much that year. I thought, well, surely I'm getting in now, and they called down and they put the freshman in. I think at that point DVH had enough of me for that week. So I did not throw that series, but I did sit down there in the rain all week, so that was less than exciting of a weekend series as I remember it.
Okay, so Florida's got the big two-way star right now, of course, and that's Caglianone. We're talking about Kentucky, and A.J. Reed was the big two-way star there as a pitcher and a first baseman. I don't know if he ever got up to the big leagues or not, but he was dominant at Kentucky. Did you ever face him?
I did not. So that was the only time that we played Kentucky when I was there, as I remember it. I didn't throw, so I didn't get to face him yet. I think he really had his breakout season in that 15 year, or maybe even 14.
I think it was
hard to remember, but 14, yeah. But yeah, he was big two-way star, which you really just didn't see a whole lot of.
Yeah, you don't see. I mean, you really don't see a lot of it now. But I mean, Caglianone is. I mean, he's improved as a pitcher. He's still really wild, but 3.86 ERA. That's nothing to spit at, and you can't get anything past him right now. Do you think we're in an era, maybe because of Ohtani, that there will be more players that do play both ways in high school and up to college that will be maybe allowed that opportunity because of Ohtani's success? Or do you think that Shohei is just a unicorn and that'll be the only guy that does it?
Yeah, I think you really have to be really good at both to even have a chance. I mean, there's a lot of guys who can hit 300 or 400 in high school and get to college, and they're at the bottom of the lineup as far as they can hit. But they got great arms, so the coaches are like, we're not going to waste all this time and energy trying to go two ways, because the practices really are separated. I mean, we never practiced with the infielders and hitters unless we were doing pitching drills, and so it really was like two teams within a team. So just practically speaking, it's hard to figure out, where's the guy go here? How does he get his reps in at the plate? How's he going to do signs? Because the practices are so divided. I think for a guy like Caglianone or like Ohtani, if you're kind of a freak on both sides, it's worth it. But if you're not, it's really probably not worth it.
Well, you just brought up something that, I mean, we all are aware of when it comes to baseball. It's like in football, you got a pitching side, you got a hitting side. In football, you got an offensive side and a defensive side, and it's rare that somebody does both of them, which makes a guy like Travis Hunter at Colorado, so impressive, but he couldn't stay healthy. And, I think that's also part of it too is, if you're going to be a pitcher, you got to play a position that doesn't put too much tax on your arm. And I know that they've let Caglianone DH on Tuesdays instead of play a position, and they think that's helped him with command a little bit more this weekend. The thing that's wild, though, here, James, is the two other programs we've just brought up in this segment. I thought that this weekend was going to be the weekend to really be fired up about because Florida was the national runner-up, and next weekend at Kentucky would be more of like the cupcake. I'm not calling anybody a cupcake here, but the roles are reversed. It's Kentucky that leads the overall SEC, and it's Florida right now that's fighting for they're on the bubble, and that's just a real shock.
Yeah, I mean, especially, with Sully over there, he seems to find a way to get his guys motivated and play well. It seems like it's always a dogfight when you're playing Florida. There's some interesting stories when we were down there about the dynamic between fans and players and whatnot that I won't air. But, yeah, it's a wild place, and there's a lot of energy whenever you play them. A couple of my roommates were from Florida that I played with, in the Northwoods League and summer ball, and they had some pretty wild stories as well. But, yeah, I mean, and now, like you're saying, you expect them to kind of always be that team, and they're not. But I think they still kind of carry that aura about them that they could kind of get hot and get going, so you can't take them too lightly.
That's interesting, though. I may want to pick your brain at some point about the stuff you don't want to bring up on the air. But you do mention something about how tough Florida is to play, and Dave Van Horn said something to me. I think it was 3, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I don't remember. But if you look at any other program that Arkansas is similar to, these are the two programs. He said is that he kind of views Florida as almost like an Eastern Division version of Arkansas. So much of it has to do with the coach and how he coaches and the style that they play. But one thing that stands out about both the programs is that they play at an incredibly high level year after year, which is what makes this year stand out about Florida and make it so kind of surprising. But do you see that correlation between that Arkansas and Florida? Look, they're not the exact same program, but when Dave tells me he sees a little bit of a reflection there, I got to believe him.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of just the nature of things, how it goes in waves. You can kind of ride high for 4 or 5 years and maybe have a down year, kind of like we had in 16. And then you think, okay, are we going to continue this downward trend? Or are we going to bounce back? And you see those higher-end coaches, I think, really bounce back and then be national contenders after those down years. I have no doubt that Florida will do the same. And I can give you just a little tidbit. I was playing golf with a guy. We're in summer ball. We're in Northwoods. We're, just passing the time. We're playing golf. And he goes, hey, Sullivan's calling me. I was like, oh, you better take that. Takes it. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was something to the effect of, Sully told me he made a huge mistake. And I asked him what the mistake was, and he said, recruiting me was that mistake. I'm terrible. I'm probably not coming back, and I better start hitting, or I need to just not plan on coming back and going to JUCO. I was like, well, kind of hard to keep playing golf after that conversation.
Matt,
but, yeah, I mean, he's ruthless. I mean, there are a lot of stories like that. He is a ruthless guy, but I think he brings the intensity, and the guys who buy into it and match that intensity a lot of times is why they win.
I love it. Who was it you said that told the recruit, a kid that was playing for, was like, it's not your fault. I'm the one that gave you the scholarship.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it was Freddie Taylor. He told me the story about Steve Spurrier when he was at Florida. A receiver dropped a pass or whatever, and he said, hey, come over here by me, son. Don't worry about that, man. I'm the one that offered you the scholarship. You just come over. You just come over and hang out by me. Hey, James, y'all's topic earlier about players kind of being able to pitch, play the infield, and hit. It kind of made me think. I wanted to ask you the question: are you in favor of the DH? Would you like to see pitchers hit and play and be full baseball players, or do you like it that the pitchers just specialize in pitching?
Yeah, I think they need to stick to what they know in the pitching and let the DH guys hit. And I think the DH is good, too, because it gives guys who maybe wouldn't otherwise have a position the ability to hit and then try to find their way into the lineup. We took hitters BP one. We had a shutout, I think, against Missouri State in the midweek, and so we got hitters BP. And if you watch that, you'd say, okay, never let these guys hit. This rule was made for a reason. This is not acceptable. So I think it'd be a detriment to the team to have a bunch of pitchers claiming to be athletes trying to also hit.
When's the last at-bat you got? I mean a real at-bat, not just taking swings.
Ooh, I really don't know. Probably my junior year of high school. I did go to a showcase, actually, and they let me hit for whatever reason. And I pitched really well, and they were like, good arm, good breaking ball, whatnot. And then the hitting section said, has some bat speed, likely won't hit for power, may hit for average, not a prospect offensively. I was like, okay, that's it for me.
Yeah, but they had really good things to say about your throwing arm, though, so you took it in that direction.
Yeah. I just went back and focused on those. I ignored the rest.
That is the right way to go. I had a funny moment with James earlier this morning because I asked him, what aspect of the law do you want to bring up? He said he texted to me mediation, but I read it as meditation.
So you thought the quarterback the Vikings took,
right?
Yeah.
Yes, meditation actually sounds like something that you might need to do if you've got a really difficult case, which I know you might have been in the middle of last week when you came on the show with us. So maybe you are meditating these days too, James, along with helping out with mediation.
Yeah, after my last 10 days, I need about a week of meditation. I had a lot of court, a lot of prep work, a lot of time, so I'm rebounding. But I mean, it went well, but it's kind of like a big series. You gotta take a little rest. So yeah, the meditation's in my future for sure. Right. But with the sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but tell me how you help with mediation. Then you were going in that direction anyway.
Yeah, so that's why it made me think of it is sometimes as an alternative to court, an alternative to the battle. You can instead elect to mediate, which typically a case is opened and then there are some issues, and instead of setting it for a trial or prior to setting it for trial, you can set it for mediation, and you go into a room, there's a mediator there, and the mediator goes back and forth, and the whole goal is to just try to get the case resolved amicably without a trial. So I think it's good for people to know that that's an option and something we do a lot of, and that if they have issues, domestic issues with their children or custody or child support, it doesn't always have to be that battle, that there are tools like mediation to reach a resolution that is a little bit, I think, easier on everybody.
Well, mediation helped me a couple of times in life, so I think it's a good direction to go. And of course, you can help with that, and you and I can get together and maybe plan out some meditations at some point. Okay, James? Pitchers can use it too, especially those who sometimes have a temper.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Hagen Smith's been meditating. He's been feeling it. It seems pretty calm out there.
That's right. It's kind of been zen every time he pitches. You're right about that. James, appreciate you, man. Always enjoy these talks.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. See you next week.
You got it. James Teague from the Teague Law Firm, back for another year with us here on Halftime. Best of Northwest Arkansas. James can help with all family law matters, anything dealing with criminal law, and they can also help with traffic offenses, with estate needs. And when you work with the Teague Law Firm, you talk to actual lawyers. They do call you back. You get James's number at 479-877-1688. 479-877-1688. Or you can go online at Teague-law.com. It's the Teague Law Firm. If they can't help you, they're going to talk baseball. You can actually talk with us as well. Right now, get on the McLarty Daniel hotline with a call or a text. 877-377-6963. It's halftime at Lumber 1 in Van Buren on Industrial Park Drive, and we're back in a moment.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now. This is Halftime.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
What's on your to-do list today? Does it include looking for a new piece of heavy equipment? If so, come by and see us at Sharp Equipment today and explore our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Newson dealer. Whatever your day brings, whatever job it is you need to complete, Wacker Newson Equipment is up to the task, and Sharp Equipment is here to help. Stop in Central Hydraulics and see us at Sharp Equipment, located at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-242-1406.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hotline, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
We're going over to the Johnson's yard. You're gonna love it. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet over there.
Well, what about that yard over there?
Oh, we can't go in that yard. You see that yellow sign? That says Mosquito Joe. Where do you think I was born yesterday?
Actually, yeah, we both were.
Don't be a mosquito buffet this year. Call Mosquito Joe for a free quote at 479-202-9960 or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com. Outside is fun again.
Do you need an oil change but don't have time to drop off your car? S&J Express Lube will let you sit in your car while they do the work, and it only takes about 15 minutes with no appointment needed. Prices start at $35.99 for a 20-point inspection service. S&J Express Lube is open Monday through Friday 9 till 6 and Saturdays 8 till noon. You'll find them at 14818 Highway 71 South in Jenny Lind. Check them out on Facebook too. S&J Express Lube, your authorized Castrol dealer in Sebastian County. They are waiting on you now.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text on the McLarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
I got the golden hour coming up. I could use the golden sun at some point here, man. Oh, I hate going into weekends where you just know you're just going to have some trouble getting the games in when you want to get them in. I do think, though.
It's over today.
Well, not up in Fayetteville.
Oh.
Sunday it's going to be raining.
Okay.
People count. We got our little own stage here at Lumber One, jokingly calling it a stage, up at the top of a landing by the stairwell in the back of the showroom here, where you can hear the din of the crowd below. Yeah, they've kept this place jam-packed just about for folks to come in at Industrial Park Drive, get a hot dog, get a burger, something to eat, register for the prizes from DeWalt Tools, door prizes up at the front, and then just kind of walk through here. And then some, the folk, everybody's got their offices on the upstairs, and they're all asking, we playing tonight? Everybody's nervous if we're going to play tonight. Yes, I do think we're going to get this game in tonight. May have to dodge a couple of raindrops here or there. But at this point of the day, a little after 12:30 in the afternoon, you start trusting some of the reports for the next few hours, and it should stop raining in Fayetteville. If it hasn't already, it should stop soon. And then you're into the 15 to 25% chance of rain for just about the remainder of the day. You get up to 33% about 10 o'clock, but by then, if the game does start at 6 and Hagen Smith is doing his thing, the ballpark should be empty by then. So I do feel pretty good about the ability of getting this game in. I like the idea of them moving it up to 6, and so we'll get it on at 5:30 today. But that's always the thing, man. I told you, I think I mentioned it to you last week. I feel almost like I'm back in the minor leagues, because anytime I would walk through the clubhouse, doesn't matter if we were home or road, because I'm the person that they viewed as media. That means I had the best weather reports. You walk through the visiting clubhouse, you walk through the home clubhouse, and sometimes they want to ask about their stats or about an official scoring decision or whoever's pitching for them. But on a day like this, they just want to know, are they going to cancel the game? Are we playing or what? And, hey, I didn't get a degree in meteorology. All I know is how to talk baseball and everything. I'm here in the same boat as you guys, and I'm kind of the same with everybody asking me here today. I don't know, but I do think we'll play tonight.
Do you ever tell them April showers bring May flowers?
That's the thing about college baseball that that I hate, because April is really the month that the regular season kind of gets decided. Look, I mean, you're starting in mid-February. Your conference season starts in the middle of March. And then by the time you get to April, could we just have the flowers instead of the showers? I love flowers. Don't get me wrong. I know we need the rain and everything, but maybe we could concentrate it to, a Wednesday when we're not playing, or a Thursday. Is it okay if I pick and choose the day that it rains?
Weather? Yeah. I think you're right. What I saw, I think, by 2 o'clock you'll definitely be able to tell if you're going to get in. I think you'll get in the game today. I think you'll be all right today.
Looking back on A.J. Reed's 2014 season. He was the Golden Spikes winner, won all the awards at Kentucky, and we're just bringing him up with James. Look at the season he had here. This was the year before I started doing Arkansas baseball games, and Reed was a first baseman and a pitcher, left-handed pitcher. He hit .336 with 23 home runs, knocked in 73, and then as a pitcher, he went 12-2 with a 209 earned run average. Like, that's nuts, especially because those are the days where I think the baseballs then still had much higher seams.
Mm-hmm.
So it was harder to hit the ball far.
Because the drag?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it was the next year that the baseballs in college, the seams got flatter, and so you notice that the numbers jumped up a little bit. We're in a place, I think, now with college baseball where you've hit more of a sweet spot in the equipment. The bats, you don't have to change the bats too much with the BB core, and the balls are mostly, I think, a pretty good position. But so for him to hit 23 homers that year, I mean, you really got to hit it to get that ball out of the ballpark. But he never pitched in the major leagues, and he didn't stick in the major leagues. He's a second-round pick. So, I guess you'd expect a guy that has that kind of a year to be a first-rounder, but he went in the second round and never pitched in the big leagues. I don't think he ever pitched in minor league baseball. Well, no, he did make one appearance as a pitcher. That's right, in the majors. Read through one inning for the White Sox in 2019. And someone had texted in about Brett Eibner. Eibner was really good as a pitcher and as a hitter at Arkansas. And then I don't remember if he did two ways on his way up. Because I remember watching him play for the Naturals, and he just played center field. And he was good. But he did have a comeback in which he did pitch in minor league baseball. I don't remember if Eibner pitched in a big league game as he got back up there from AAA. Okay, so there's the first sound of an actual power tool that I've heard here at Lumber One. And that was just a good old-fashioned blower. They're putting on a display of, I guess right now this gentleman is drying off his boots because it's wet outside. So it's a two-way thing. It's good. That would be a much safer tool that you can actually try here. Maybe a little different from the replicating saws, which I still don't know any of what these things do. It's just JT in Hot Springs warned me that I could cut my arm off, and I could probably, drill, and I could probably just cut a very nice, thick slice through my neck without knowing what I'm doing with it. You can play with the blowers inside Lumber One, but stay away from the sharp stuff. You probably need gloves and eyewear protection for that. That's the first power tool we've heard.
That sounds good. You could probably multi-use. You probably blow the leaves off. You could move some of the water puddles out of the way. Dry your shoes, like you said. Yeah.
You don't even have to throw them in the dryer. That's right. Yeah, come on out to Lumber One. We are at Industrial Park Drive. This is the location's been open since August of 2023. Used to be over by the airport. We'll have Bill from Section 101 coming up in a little bit to tell us about some of the things they've got potentially on special or what it is that you can win. There's all these different. Now I can see that. That's a DeWalt power. That's a DeWalt drill. Now, that's something I could trust myself with.
Sharp.
That's something I could trust myself with. It's nothing that's too sharp, nothing that, as long as I keep it pointed out from the other side of my body instead of inward, I think I'll be okay.
No, it's all first-class stuff here. They got it going on.
JT says no gloves when using saws. See? I mean, he knows. I don't know. And JT, I'm going to be looking around here, maybe thinking about building a home studio. I'm saying that like half jokingly because that would be, if I move into another house, I would love to have a little area that's perfect for radio. You've been in my house. That area where I do
it's a nice area.
I mean, it's a decent area, but you're not supposed to be doing radio in a tiled room. It doesn't work very well. It's like having a radio booth at a baseball park with marble counters, which is what you got at Ole Miss. It doesn't make sense because the sound bounces off of it. I need carpet. Or I need those kind of like soft egg crates that you can stick on the wall, something that eats the sound up instead of, something where you wouldn't have even been able to hear this thing. Scott asks, what's a replicating saw? Scott, I'd like to ask you that question. Do you have any idea what a replicating saw is?
They have tutorials, and you can come down, take a class. I think if you've made it to the age of 40 and you don't know what a replicating saw is, then
you don't need to know.
Probably let the people that know how to use it.
Tell you what, Scott, in a moment we'll have one of the experts that owns the shop, owns the location. He is Mr. Power Tool. He's the one who will let me know.
Oh, they're getting a purchase too. That's that good stuff right there.
What a power tool is. Yeah,
they liked it.
Is he actually buying the blower?
Boxes going. Yeah, they're getting the DeWalt.
He is buying the blower that he just tested out.
Nice.
And it's like we just.
I wonder how long those charges last.
We just
you gotta
narrated
get the job
a full
done,
transaction.
Right? Yeah. Do they come with an extra? With an extra charger? They got it. You got to think. I mean, they're working people here.
Okay,
man.
so
it got to last at least for an hour, right?
Scott may have corrected me properly about this because I don't know if it's a replicating saw, and he says a reciprocating saw. Now it's coming in. JT says it's a reciprocating saw. Justin says it's a reciprocating saw. So does Jamie May. See, I was looking for something I didn't even know what it's legitimately called. So I don't even need to look at this. If I looked at that, it's like looking into Medusa's eyes.
Getting a left-handed coffee cup.
I'm going to turn into stone. There's no reason to look at that thing one bit. Reciprocating saw. Thank you. We have a lot of folks who listen to this radio show that are handy with power tools. It's good that one of the hosts of this show is not handy at all with any of these power tools and doesn't even know what the heck it's called. Do you have a favorite power tool? I don't.
All right, looks like we lost the guys again. We're going to take a short break again. They are live at Lumber One in Van Buren. More halftime coming up with Phil Elson and Matt Jones next.
This is halftime.
When it's time for breakfast, Calico County is making it all from scratch. Yet the dedicated early morning crew at Calico are cooking up and serving buttermilk pancakes, moist biscuits, rich waffles, country fried potatoes, 3 types of gravy, and of course their famous cinnamon rolls and much more. They serve all of this and a lot more 7 days a week until 11 a.m. Stop in, call ahead, or get it to go. Or just come by and pick up a dozen cinnamon rolls for the office. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, roll on into Calico County. They're home cooking good. Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
It's spring cleaning sell time at Jelco Outdoors. Savings from 50 to 75% off on select clothing, footwear, hunting and fishing equipment, casual clothing, hunting clothing, work clothing for men, women, and children, work boots, safety shoes, western boots, all 50 to 75% off. Rods, reels, baits, hunting equipment, all 50.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the #1 source for all your sports betting this season and every season. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends all at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. The fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite leagues and events. Go to betonline.ag to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure you use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. Bet online, where the game starts.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor Abe from Woodland. Read about it.
This video
59-63. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend, Matt Jones.
Halftime continues here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Bill from Van Buren, owner, operator, Lumber One here in Van Buren. We're at Industrial Park Drive. And the jokes continue here. Yeah, the reciprocating saw did not knock us off the air. It's just a little blip on the internet. Bill, I mistakenly called probably a tool that you have here a reciprocating saw. I'm not a handy person. I don't cut into things with power tools. I don't build things. I just describe sports on the radio pretty much, and I'm a professional smartass every once in a while. But as far as the reciprocating / replicating, so what does this thing do, and just how dangerous is it?
Well, it's very dangerous probably for a guy that doesn't use it like yourself. So
is a
and
knife.
especially somebody that can't pronounce exactly what it's called.
That's
so
right.
I can see that. Yeah, I mean it's something if you want to cut something off. Basically, it's not a skill saw. It's actually has a blade, 6-inch, 8-inch blade that you put on, and you can turn it sideways and just cut pipes or anything like that. It's more if you want to go in really tight places where you can't use a skill saw, then you would use a reciprocating saw.
A reciprocate. See, this is way too much. If there's something that's cutting into metal pipes, I don't need to be anywhere near that.
You
thing.
do not. No. But I will say is that not the first time that you've ever made an error on the radio? I'm sure.
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, I make about 5 or 10 a weekend.
Okay.
It happens. It's just a matter of if anybody figures it out.
Okay.
And,
All right.
and those who were texting in about, hey, it's not a replicating saw, it's a reciprocating saw. I can tell the difference between a cutter and a slider. Sometimes. It's a little difficult.
Well, I thought Bubba
sometimes
did.
they look the same.
I thought Bubba did all that.
No, we both look at it.
Okay.
We both
Okay.
look at it. He is the one who can tell immediately what it is.
Okay.
Sometimes I need just
Well,
an
he's
extra
probably had a little
split
bit more
second.
practice standing by the plate than you
Yes.
have. Okay.
Yes, but I've had more practice seeing the pitches from where I sit. You
True.
know, if he's down on the field, that's the thing when he talks all about it. He'll say, well, he can see the pitcher's arm slow down even just a little bit on an off-speed pitch compared to a fastball. He can see that the arm slot is just a little bit different, but he can see it from up there, you know, from where we are. And I know he could probably get a look at it from down on the field, but then he'll always say it's just so much easier to see these things from up here.
But can you see balls and strikes like we can in 101? And how, I mean, we can tell if the pitch is off 6 inches from 101 where we're at.
Of course you can.
Yes.
You are
absolutely.
You are much closer to home plate than the plate umpire is.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Right there at the tar, without a doubt. And we let the home plate umpire know about it also. And the first base umpire also.
That's what they expect. That's what they expect. You got it. You know the rules better than the umpires do, don't you?
Well, most of the time, yes. Yeah. And we can usually make the call before they have to go to Birmingham, and it takes them 5 minutes to do it.
That's the thing I love about the Baumwalker crowd is you're just so responsive to anything that's negative against the Razorbacks. They'll get a boo, even if it's a noticeable struggle. We'll tell, and you could tell that last weekend in Columbia, they were complaining about the strike zone on Friday. It was a bad strike zone. Don't get me wrong about it, but they were still quieter about it than Arkansas fans were.
It's not the first time this year that we've had a bad strike zone.
No.
Without a doubt.
No, not at all. Not at all. All right, so I need to ask you about the beer hats. As you told us, Section 101 is where it was like the maternal ward for the beer hats. So how did this start?
Well, there was 4 University of Arkansas students, and they used to go. It's cool to go to the games now. It wasn't as cool back in the day.
They looked at you cross-eyed, like, what are you going to baseball for?
Exactly. So these guys would run around with the flags and stuff, and they come up that we need a different prop. They were in Target, saw the bases loaded hat, they picked them up for $1, and it transpired from there. Now everybody's, and I told those guys, you should have had some kind of a trademark or something on that hat, and you guys get a little proceeds off that, especially at Max Landing up down the
Right,
first
now
base
you got
line.
a whole thing named for
You
it.
got the whole thing. So, and I know there's a number of retail facilities that carry it. So, but it's something that they're extremely proud of, and I don't blame them. They were going to baseball games when nobody else was going.
Yeah, and now everybody wants to go.
Everybody wants a beer hat, and a lot of times the women want the little springy deals, which is fine too. You know that we count that. So
Well, there are other folks who just put a bottle of beer on their heads instead of the beer hat.
they do, and sometimes that counts all right too.
Whatever you think works, right?
Exactly.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Now you've known Matt Jones for a while, haven't you?
I have officiated Matt when he was in junior high. As a matter of fact.
You're an official.
I am an official. Yes.
No wonder you know the strike zone so well.
Well,
from
exactly.
Section 101.
Well, and I have the right, after 30 years of doing football, I have the right to say something if somebody screws up on the field. I mean, that's just the way it is.
I mean, if you're paid to be an official somewhere else, then whatever you say at Palms, it should go.
Well, yeah, the first base umpire will listen to me, but I don't think he always does what we want him to do. But
Was he a good official? Did he always get the call right?
Absolutely.
Good answer.
I remember back in the day, Matt was quarterback. His dad was coaching, and it was at the end of the game. His dad wanted him to take a knee. Matt didn't take a knee.
That doesn't sound like me.
He run a little bit.
I think you've told this one, man.
His dad called a timeout and just ripped into him, and I was standing pretty close. Matt come back to the huddle, looked at me because I was standing right next to him, and rolled his eyes. And I'll never forget that.
Pops isn't listening now, is he?
You never know what he's up to. You never know. But those were some good times, fun years of playing ball. That's
Yeah,
right.
Matt's got some. I know Stephen Pollard very well, and he's got some fantastic parents.
Oh yeah, I hit the lottery and didn't buy a ticket. I couldn't say it better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, get out there and make some calls tonight at 101, okay?
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt. And
We're
you'll
playing
hear,
tonight.
You'll hear us.
Good.
Yeah, the way the field drains, I think we'll be fine.
Well, I'll be looking for you. And in fact, I'll be looking for your calls. That's what I'm going by on the radio today.
Yeah, and we used to have a Birmingham call from Birmingham, and we had a sign that we actually held up. Actually had headsets, and people were wondering what was going on. So they thought I really had a connection to Birmingham.
Hey, stay with us. We're in hour number 3, the golden hour of halftime.
Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on a GMC Sierra Crew Cab at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Choose from 2.7 or 5.3-liter Sierra Crew Cabs this month and get 2.9% for 72. Or get up to $6,500 in factory rebates on select 2024 GMC Sierra trucks. Conquer with confidence in a new GMC from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
The American Patriot Promotions Gun Show is coming to the Sebastian County Fairgrounds in Greenwood, Saturday, May the 4th and Sunday, May the 5th. Tickets are just $10 per person, $8 for veterans, military, and active police force. Plus, children 16 and under get in free. On Saturday, the event goes from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. and Sunday from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. For more information, go to AmericanPatriotPromotions.com. May the 4th be with you.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, active weather expected to increase. We could see the potential for large hail, damaging winds, and the potential for some tornadoes this afternoon through the early part of tonight. High temperatures today in the low to mid 70s. We'll see a chance of showers and strong storms early tonight. Overnight lows near 65. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Streaming on hitthatline.com. You gotta take me here. That's perspective. Live from the Bush Lights Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
For one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text on the McLarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back into hour number 3 on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com. It's halftime on a Friday. It means we are into the golden hour. They're finally... Oh, I can unbuckle the belt buckle just a little bit here. I'll take it from 3 to the second one. That helps. It helps it feel a little more chill. We're live at Lumber One in Van Buren, Industrial Park Drive. The doors have been open, and the place has been full for the last couple of hours. You can enter to win all kinds of prizes from DeWalt Tools, door prizes when you walk in, burgers and dogs. I'm told there are cats somewhere here in the building. So I got too much to do later on after the show to go searching for cats, so can't pull that thing off. I'm staying away from the replicating saws. We get people texting in, say on jobs they call these things a sawzall. It's good. We got a lot of handymen that listen to this radio show. I am definitely not one of them. And we have a listener who you met, I think, were you in Springdale last week at All American Steakhouse and Sports Theater?
Mm-hmm.
You met Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Chris is getting married tomorrow.
Congratulations. I met him and his pops. They hung out for a little bit, and yeah, man. Thanks for listening, but they seemed like good people. You know, they were cool. Yeah.
He says that his bride-to-be is walking down the aisle to Something by the Beatles. Now, that's a good one. I think that's a nice choice. Congratulations, Chris, and good luck to you. And you obviously planned your wedding that wouldn't be during football season, but he asked if he doesn't have a lot of luck in convincing his bride-to-be that the wedding should be at Baum-Walker Stadium. Oh, okay, it's too bad. Move there during the game. That's kind of funny. Yeah, well, if you're going to try to do this where you're keeping your friends in check and making sure that the sports fans get their sports on weekends, I mean, why are we just worried about football season? Why not now with Cal coaching Arkansas basketball every Saturday? It's going to be a must-see game, right? Isn't that the idea? No more rushing the court. Everybody else rushes the court if they beat you. And baseball is pretty much must-watch every weekend. So I don't think anybody that's a Razorback fan should be getting married, I'd say from about Labor Day through the end of the College World Series. So that means the only month that works for weddings in the state of Arkansas pretty much is just July, a little bit of August, when it's really comfortable for outdoor weddings.
I don't really have any advice on the whole wedding situation.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Neither do I. I would just say good luck, and I guess leave it at that. Just about right. More folks asking about baseball tonight. I don't think it's going to be I think we might be dodging some raindrops, but it looks like the chances for rain have dwindled into the teens to the low 20s. So with a 6 o'clock first pitch, I think there's plenty of time that if you got to have a delay or two, you still can get the game in. And then the real question is, what happens tomorrow and or Sunday? You're supposed to have a 12 noon game tomorrow. Just think of the idea. So maybe I'm just throwing this out as a potential thing that can happen. The 6 o'clock first pitch, dodging raindrops. Let's just say for some reason it's pushed to 7 o'clock. And then, you play 2.5 hours or so, and then you got to come back the next day for a 12 noon game that might be a doubleheader. In that place, you're going to play 3 games pretty much in a 24-hour period, which I don't know if I'm sure it's happened before, but you would start at the Friday game at 7 then. It's a 6 o'clock. I'm just saying, just putting out a scenario. And then the doubleheader at 12, it would be 2 9-inning games, 45 minutes in between. Yeah, you would get in 28 innings in less than 24 hours, which I've done this before. We played back-to-back doubleheaders with the Travelers in 2002 against the A's Double-A team, but those were 7-inning games, not 9-inning games. When you're doing more than 1 inning per hour over a 24-hour period, you're playing a heck of a lot of baseball.
Well, you have round 2 of the NFL draft, the first 100 picks. Round 2 and 3, there's a lot of stars out there still. There's a lot of help, a lot of people that are going to come in, and so there's that's going. So that'll be good. And then you're going to see some Razorback guys go probably later than that, maybe 3 of them total. But the thing that I'll be watching that is an absolute – it's an instant classic is the L.A. Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks. The series is tied 1-1. It's the 4-5 matchup. It's star power. It's coaching power. There's athletes. this is a real basketball series. You should have seen Kyrie Irving and James Harden just getting after each other. Like James Harden he didn't get after anybody anymore, but they're going back because they were teammates in Brooklyn. They don't like each other, the way they play about it. And you can see the distaste for each other, and it makes it into a series. They're playing defense. They're being physical, making plays. That's on tonight, so I'll be checking that one out for sure.
Lakers are toast now, right?
Well, that game 2, when they just put the dagger in your heart right there, you kind of knew. And it's the first time in the history of LeBron James's career that he's lost to a team 10 consecutive times out. So he's lost 10 straight games to the Denver Nuggets.
Wow.
And he's going to lose at least one more because it's 3-0 right now. They swept them last year in the playoffs as well.
And then I saw Giannis is out for the
That
Bucks.
series is neither one of those teams. It's the Pacers still don't. I don't know how much your boy Aaron Torres checks out. He's a basketball guy, but we'll get him before the Olympics. But they got Halliburton as their point guard on the Olympic team. I still think that there were a Dame Lillard, a Brunson. There was a point guard out there. I don't know how much of a lock this USA Olympic team is. Now you still got stars. Absolute stars. But the other world teams are catching up, and you need a point guard, a true guy that can handle it a little bit. So that'd be interesting as well.
Is the biggest surprise so far in the first round the idea that Boston lost a game at home?
Yeah, a little bit. But the thing about the Boston Heat, that's a real series. That's a real rivalry. They play each other. They know each other so well. It is because Butler wasn't playing. You think. But the thing that I'll tell you, Phil, the last game, the Miami Heat shot 53% from the three-point line. That's not sustainable. They're not going to keep that up. So I think what you say as the Celtics is you're like, well, that we did our thing. If you're going to shoot, you're going to have to shoot 53% from behind the arc to beat us. And so I don't know that that's going to be sustainable. They could probably win another one in Miami, but I still got Boston in that series.
You know, you like to ask sometimes when somebody retires or is coming close to retirement, you think this guy's a Hall of Famer like Matt Ryan? We got into that earlier. I don't think he is a Hall of Famer. What about Spoelstra? What about
Eric Spoelstra with that?
Eric Spoelstra,
the Pat Riley. Have they won a championship since LeBron left? I don't know. They have made the
they've been to the finals a couple times.
I'm a Spo fan. I like Eric Spoelstra. I think he is well on his way. I put him up there with Rick Carlisle as far as NBA coaches that I'm a fan of. So Spo I think is OG. No question about it. I think he'll be in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Man, you kind of forget how long he's been there.
I like Brad Stevens too, but he's the GM now. When their guy Aduke, when he got fired for doing things he shouldn't be doing with the owners, and so they relieved him of his duties, but I thought Stevens might come back to coach this team, the Celtics team, because Jason Tatum, Phil, is a league MVP. That's Mike Trout right there. He's the best American basketball player in the game right now, and he really is a league MVP type player.
Tell you what, if we end up not playing on Sunday, I need to put on one of the NBA playoff games. Just look, I like basketball. I like basketball a lot. I haven't watched any regular season NBA. A lot of that is because I don't have a team to root for, and my brain is too. Look, I mean, being a sports fan in today's age, there's so much to keep up with. And I got baseball on my mind with Arkansas. We got everything going on with the transfer portal for men's and women's basketball. The football portal is open. I think you just got a defensive back from Utah State that's from Marion.
The Aggies.
It's too much. It's so much to keep up with that I almost forget. And this is worldwide popular and everything, how popular the NBA playoffs are. And for everyone who will poo-poo the NBA for the regular season, well, here you go. And the playoffs have been, from what you're talking, it sounds like they've been really entertaining.
Yeah, some series you don't have to pay too much attention to, but some of them are, yes. And they're only going to get more Fast and Furious, just like Ben Diesel does in the Fast and Furious series, if you keep watching. The Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals will be sick, but that's the beauty. And we talked a little bit about this off air, Phil, that if you're the Yankees and Jeter's on your team, you get to have Derek Jeter. Even if he strikes out, he gets to go back in the batter's box and hit again. That's the same in basketball. It's a two-man game. Your best players are going to be your highest volume shooters.
You feed the beast.
That's right. And baseball is so different because you have to wait 8 outs before he gets to come back around. Instead of just think about he goes down the court. You let your best players shoot it. Make or miss, you get to let him shoot it again, and it doesn't happen in baseball.
I always think to me, you say, well, here's our starting lineups for this sport or that sport, but a lineup I think first was made in baseball, and it's because you're going 1 through 9, and everybody gets their turn. Starting lineup in football, hey, everybody, it's in and
so
out.
So fluid.
It was still incredibly fluid. But you talk about in basketball, feed the beast. In football, you want to get the ball to your playmakers as often as you possibly can. You don't want to get the ball to the number 9 hitter. To the guy who can't make contact, but he's going to come up and hit at some point.
Yeah, and good offensive coordinators in football, you move players around, you learn a position and then you learn another position, and they're able to move around and mismatch you up. That's why tight ends are so impactful in the game right now, because they're, are you going to choose to put a guy out there to cover him, or are you going to choose to put a guy out there to stop the run? And then so it's it's a mismatched position.
Quick break here on halftime. Stuart Norell from BetSaracen will join us in just a moment. It's halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
The Cal era is here. Championship Under Construction is brought to you by Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMaleMedical.com. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Here comes Norm. He is flying out. He said, I thought we were under nuclear attack or something. I had no idea what was going on. He looks at me. He kind of gets right in my face. He goes, when I call a pitch, you throw it. I looked at Ronnie. He goes, "Oh yeah, I've got to tell you, he's calling the pitches right now." I go, "Yes, sir." Yeah, and he does.
You're shaking off the headband.
Don't miss the morning rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
We're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Pay attention. This happens fast. You need money. You get a job. Turns out that job doesn't pay near enough for the nonsense it puts you through every day. You want to move fast, but the clock moves slow. You're smart, though. You know machines. You want to work at a place as fast as you. You call Medley Equipment Company. They need a technician, and they'll teach you everything you need to know to be the best, with pay raises all along. Because Medley keeps you moving.
I'm Branch Manager Dennis Mabry. Visit medleycompany.com or see us at 4001 Harper Avenue, Fort Smith, Arkansas.
BetSaracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with BetSaracen because BetSaracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid and faster. Find your winners on BetSaracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
BetSaracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Regardless of one's age, there's a living heritage, experiences, and memories to share. Show how much you care by remembering elderly family members, friends, or neighbors by helping with chores, shopping, or a simple visit. Learn about life from the most experienced people in the world and make a difference in their everyday lives. This message is courtesy of our good friends at Paris Health and Rehab, 1414 South Elm Street in Paris, Arkansas. Contact Administrator Sarah for a tour today. She and her staff care about our seniors.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Agent Jason Hill in Greenwood or Agent Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
You just ordered Mexican food and you're thinking we need everything to make margaritas. Well, no worries. Uber Eats and DoorDash is now available at Four Corks Wine and Spirits. It's fast and convenient to get all your beer, wine, and spirits by calling Uber Eats or DoorDash. Four Corks Wine and Spirits has a wide selection of bourbons, whiskey, craft beers, and the coldest imports in town. Stop in the climate-controlled wine cellar for the perfect selection of fine wines, too. Uber Eats and DoorDash now available at Four Corks Wine and Spirits, just past the intersection of Mazard and Zero Street toward Ben Gehring Park.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Back to happen to me. No, but I feel it coming.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All guests join halftime on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, and we have Stuart Norell with us right now from BetSaracen, Arkansas's favorite sports betting app. When you want to put a little wager on your favorite sporting event, you've got BetSaracen on your phone. For Apple users, you can download from the App Store. For Android users, it works on Google Play, any web browser as well. BetSaracen.com. Make sure you're inside the borders of the state of Arkansas to use BetSaracen. Neil, yesterday, day one of the NFL draft, and I know, there you can pretty much put an odd on just about anything involving sports that feels like you don't necessarily know what the outcome is going to be. Drafts with the NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL, maybe WNBA feel like they're so different than betting on games and everything, but it doesn't slow people down from doing it. Compare for me the action you get on the NFL draft to what you might get during the regular season on an NFL weekend.
I'd say it's probably 10 to 15% of what we get on a typical weekend. We offered a whole bunch of different options on bets as far as the draft went, and they were all showing up on the board. There were some pretty long shot items, and then some more likely stuff to go on, and they were all priced accordingly. But we got some pretty nice heavy action on it. We had NFL draft, I think, was 7 of our top 10 liabilities last night. So, it's interesting, and it's something that people are interested in, and they have plenty of time to work up to it and study what they think is going to happen. So it definitely provides some entertainment value.
Well, and so much of the headlines go to the first day of the draft and the first round picks, and those are the most famous ones that come from it, at least from that day. But there's always, you get 2 more days left here of this draft. So what's still out there as far as prop bets for the NFL draft on BetSaracen? How many are left?
There's not a whole lot left at this point. Let's just take a quick look here and see what we've got. We've got who's going to be the second tight end drafted. Of course, Raiders took the first one. The team to draft Blake Corum, Mr. Irrelevant, who's the last player picked in the draft. First safety drafted, first linebacker drafted, second linebacker drafted, second, third running backs. Team to bets. There's quite a bit. Yeah, there's looks like we probably have about 20, 25 different prop bets on the draft still outstanding. So there's still plenty of time to get in. If you have something you think is going to happen, you probably have a chance to bet it.
And we got a baseball weekend at Baum, and who knows? We may find out sometime soon about it being compacted into a doubleheader tomorrow. Nothing's decided about that. It just seems that could be an option because Sunday looks like it might rain all day. When you've got odds on a weekend series and it's the idea of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, do the odds change at all for a doubleheader for the road team? Because in college it's different than when you're playing in a major league park. You don't have a clubhouse to go to. You don't have the air conditioning to go to. You don't have a players union that makes sure that there's a certain kind of food even for the visitors as well. When you're a college team and you're on the road and it's a doubleheader and you end up sitting around at the ballpark all day long, it's much more difficult than just playing a single game. Can that change the odds?
It does, and also in college when you have a doubleheader, they cut the game length down from 9 innings to 7 on each of the games. So that also has an effect on total runs and what the odds are going to be on the game. So yeah, it definitely does, and the fact that the traveling team is probably stuck in their bus between games doesn't do them any favors. But it even in college, it's still hard to sweep a doubleheader. You're usually going to get a split of the games one way or the other.
Have you guys taken any futures bets on Arkansas for winning a national basketball championship? We just saw that you got 4 players that are signed to play for Coach Cal in his first year, so you don't even have a starting 5 that you can throw out there. But yet, what's the latest odds? Plus 3,000. Are people actually putting money on Arkansas to win a national title right now?
They are, and I think that picked up when Calipari was hired. Gave everybody some hope. He's had a good history of being able to take a real young team and make them real good before the tournament time and go some ways. So I think that it gives him a chance just because he's usually going to have 5 or 6 of the top 25 guys in the country on his team. So it does give him a lot better chance than what we were looking at last year anyway.
What's coming up? I mean, so the NFL draft is yesterday, today, and tomorrow. In a month, it's the NBA draft. What's available about the NBA draft? Because I keep hearing this is going to be a weak draft, but that doesn't mean that you can't still find places to actually make some money on it on BetSaracen.
Yeah, we don't actually have anything up on that quite yet. We'll have some stuff up in probably the week or so heading into it as what's likely to happen becomes a little clearer and we can price it more accurately. Yeah, we will definitely have different propositions up for the NBA draft, though.
Well, right now, I guess it's more about the NBA playoffs. People, the regular season, it garners interest, but nothing quite like the postseason. You got to see an uptick as far as the receipts you're getting on BetSaracen for the postseason.
Absolutely. And it looks like, once again, most of these series are going to be pretty competitive. We're getting split wins, and now there hasn't been much in the way of sweeps at this point. So, and I think that probably the play-in tournament for the NBA has a lot to do with that. I think it keeps everybody playing competitively for the whole season, and they're ready for the playoffs when the playoffs get here.
Do you find is postseason usually more popular? There's fewer games, but people. I guess you feel like you got more information to go by. You got a full season behind you. Does October generate the same more betting receipts for baseball than September does? I guess would be the question that goes along with that. If people aren't watching as much regular season basketball, they're watching the postseason, and the ratings say that. And I guess part of the question would be here, do ratings necessarily tell you that people are putting money on those games too?
Oh, definitely. I would say that the overall volume of money isn't hugely different, but of course with fewer games, there's quite a bit more money per game that we're seeing, and that'll continue all the way through the playoffs. Kind of like the March Madness tournament. You start out with 68 teams the first week, and it drops down pretty drastically, but the interest stays up all the way through. If you didn't have a favorite by the time you watched a few games, you have one now. So it's kind of the same way in the NBA. A lot of people don't start paying attention until about this time of year to the NBA, and this is when it gets pretty fun.
Yeah, it does look like it's fun now. We'll leave it there, all right, Stuart? I appreciate you filling in and calling. It's always good talking to you, and we'll look forward to having you on the next time, okay?
All right, thank you.
You got it. Stuart Norell, BetSaracen. NFL, college football, NBA basketball, any draft, all of that stuff going on BetSaracen. When you want to put a little wager on your favorite sporting event or even just a draft, BetSaracen is on your phone, also online at BetSaracen.com. Give us a call, give us a text on the McLarty Daniel hotline. It's open for you now as we go into the home stretch of the golden hour, 877-377-6963. We'll be back right after this.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Arkansas, we have heard you loud and clear. That's right, over 300 in-stock heavy duties ready for delivery. And now Ram has lowered the MSRP on their heavy-duty trucks up to $10,000. That's right, and Red River has offered up to another $10,000 off. Folks, you won't find a better deal anywhere else in the state than right here. No one's going to give you a better deal during Ram Truck Month. So make that beautiful drive right here to Heber Springs. Or check us out on the web at redriverdodge.com. And at Red River, we deliver.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Precision Overhead Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all of your overhead door needs. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas, located at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and 416 North 10th Street in Fort Smith. Give them a call today at 844-PDS-DOOR or online at precisiondoornwa.com. Financing is available. Precision Overhead Door voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Precision Overhead Door.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
The American Patriot Promotions Gun Show is coming to the Sebastian County Fairgrounds in Greenwood, Saturday, May the 4th and Sunday, May the 5th. Tickets are just $10 per person, $8 for veterans, military, and active police force. Plus, children 16 and under get in free. On Saturday, the event goes from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. and Sunday from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. For more information, go to AmericanPatriotPromotions.com. May the 4th be with you.
Can you explain the infield fly rule? Neither can I, but I can help you navigate a variety of legal issues, from divorce to personal injury to estate planning. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions, a new law firm offering affordable flat fees with payment plans available. You get an ace at the price of a minor leaguer. Now that sounds like a grand slam to me. Call Mock Legal Solutions for your free consultation. 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South C Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren, the best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
So new Arkansas basketball signee Billy Richmond's father started a small chain of wing restaurants called the Wing Guru, and it just brought me to a reminder of the and I didn't eat at this place. Maybe I should have. I showed you the photo of exotic wings. This was Birmingham. Doesn't it look? It looks exactly
very exotic.
It looks like it used to be a Waffle House because it used to be a Waffle House. Exotic Wings and Waffle House both have 11 letters. So, I mean, there was brilliant marketing right there, but I think it's a one-location look, because all the other ones that kind of look like, what was the name of the chicken restaurant from Breaking Bad? El Pollo, something. It kind of looked a little bit like that. Those are a little more exotic wings, you know? Meth is more exotic than wings is. Get a phone call from Matt in Bella Vista on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. Hey, Matt, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yeah, just kind of hanging out. It's golden hour time, man. We're just loosen up the belt buckle a little bit, you know.
Yeah, totally. Hey, quick question for you guys, and Matt may be able to speak on this, but what's kind of the deadline for us to get this full roster for the team going? Like, I know we have a handful of commits, but what would you guys say that we need to have a whole team in place by?
I don't think there's any deadline. The only deadline I know of is to enter the portal, and you've got to get in by May 1st. outside of that, it's just based on who's making their decisions and when they're comfortable making their decisions. So, hey, it's been a big week. You get 3 players signed to the team this week, all big-time recruits. It's huge. So it makes me think, well, what do they got in store for next week, right?
Yeah, awesome, dude. That's kind of what I wanted to know. I appreciate you guys.
Sure. It's good to hear from you, Matt. 877-377-6963 to get on the McLarty Daniel hotline with us here. And Jeremy in Tulsa is next. Hey, Jeremy, what's up?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Great. Thank you.
Good. You guys talking about these wings. It's going to make me spend money I don't have. Getting some mango habanero wings. That's where it's at, Matt Jones.
I like it.
Hey, Phil, no question. It's kind of a statement. It seems like the past few weeks, for most of the baseball season, we've kind of avoided the injury bug. But it seems like over the past few weeks, it's kind of rearing its ugly head. Are you concerned at all? I mean, I know Diggs is back. JSL is supposed to be back, but DVH said he's only going to be about 90% probably for the rest of the year. Molina with a rolled ankle now. Now, thankfully, it's not, Peyton Paulette going down in the postseason or Jackson Wiggins last year. It's not that bad, but do you think we'll be healthy going into the playoffs, assuming it, doesn't hopefully get any worse than what it is by now?
All right, looks like we lost the fellows for just a sec. Jeremy, we'll get to your response. I know Phil's got a response on your question in just one sec.
No, we're back. We're
back.
All right. Yeah, we're back. I heard him talking about, we've got a little issue with the internet here, but I think it's back here for now. He's talking about the injury bug for this Arkansas baseball team, and I think the thing with Sprague-Lott, they've been dealing with it for I remember him missing a couple of games even before the SEC season started, and it was because of a back. So I think this is something that he's just been battling, an oblique injury where he can run and he can throw and field, but not swing it necessarily. And he really does take a pretty big swing when he does.
The guard I liked from Marquette, that's what he had. Remember we talked to Aaron about it. The oblique, it's a rest thing, man. It's something that's going to bother you until you get time to rest and really let it heal.
The thing is, you don't want to rest too much before you're getting into the regional, really.
Not if you're going to play, you can't really rest,
But there is plenty of time to rest without there being too much pressure on you. But you do need to. Look, it's not like Arkansas is in a position where they can just go into cruise control and be a top 8 national seed. Like I think if you go 500, if you go 6-6. For the remainder of the conference schedule, I think you're going to be in a really good position to be there. But there's no guarantee that happens. Going to Kentucky, going to Mississippi State, or going to A&M and having Mississippi State come here, they've been playing well. The injury bug is not – I don't think it's a bug right now for him. I think with Sprague-Lott, he's coming back to play this weekend. So we'll see how that works for him. With Diggs – I think there have been some very good signs that this issue with the shoulder may have been, I don't want to say solved, but figured out with enough rest and the right kind of anti-inflammatories to where.
I think what Phil was going to say there is that it sounds like Kendall Diggs is nursing back to health. And hopefully he will be back soon. All right, we're going to take a short break here on Halftime. Again, they're live at Lumber One in Van Buren. More of Halftime coming up with Phil Elson and Matt Jones next.
This is Halftime.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Looking for a change? For a limited time, we're offering up to a $15,000 hiring bonus and a $3,000 referral bonus for maintenance techs, including electricians and refrigeration techs. Ask a friend who works at Simmons for more information, and you can both win. Simmons offers vacation matching, a 401k plan, and premium health care for team members and their families through our care clinics at no additional cost. Learn more at workatsimmons.com or stop by the Fort Smith City Hiring Center at 4900 Rogers Avenue, Suite 103 in Fort Smith. Find out more about the $15,000 hiring bonus and start getting paid sooner with same-day hiring options. We look forward to seeing you.
Greenwood Collision has been a part of Greenwood since the opening in 2007. Now they invite you into their new state-of-the-art facility. They offer customers a lifetime warranty and work diligently with all insurance companies to better serve their customers. Greenwood Collision has a color matching system, guaranteed an exact color match each and every time. Stop the worrying. Call Chris or Joe today at 996-9922. Greenwood Collision, 2615 West Center in Greenwood.
Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub and Chaffee Crossing has everything you need for your favorite activities. Our knowledgeable staff will be glad to help you with the current specials and our new arrivals of must-have bourbons and whiskeys. Hit the cooler for some of the coldest beer in town or choose from our large selection of amazing wines. Order online or call ahead Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing. Barrels and Brews, voted best of the best in Fort Smith. It will put a smile on your face.
When it's time for breakfast, Calico County is making it all from scratch. Yet the dedicated early morning crew at Calico are cooking up and serving buttermilk pancakes, moist biscuits, rich waffles, country fried potatoes, 3 types of gravy, and of course their famous cinnamon rolls and much more. They serve all of this and a lot more 7 days a week until 11 a.m. Stop in, call ahead, or get it to go. Or just come by and pick up a dozen cinnamon rolls for the office. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, roll on into Calico County. They're home cooking good. Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
Advanced Mechanical Performance, your premier UTV, off-road, truck, and Jeep repair facility. Whether it's a lift kit, an oil change, or a complete makeover of your machine, go see Cody and the gang at AMP and get it right the first time. These guys know what they're doing and are doing what they know. Advanced Mechanical Performance, 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Call them today at 434-4161.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westark Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
Westark Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hole Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hole understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, I hope we've got the thing with the internet figured out. Made the switch over to the cell phone towers, and I think that ought to work. So we'll have a bit of a longer segment here to close out the show. It's okay for a Friday. It's the golden hour. No pressure. No pressure felt. No pressure delivered, right?
No excuses, just produces, Phil.
Well said. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. Here's Jason. He's in Frankfort, Kentucky. Get to talk to him a few times. What's up, Jason? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Hope we get a win with against Full. Fun to see because I hear a lot of calls about the makeup of the current basketball team. And I want to express my concern just over the basketball coaching staff. So far, Coach Payne and Coach Cal, and that's fine. I have sort of a wish list there. We haven't heard anything, so I didn't know if there was anything more that you all had heard or Clay had heard, anything like that that you might have heard about, just in terms of who he might be bringing in. But
I thought his son was going to be was supposed to make a move from Vanderbilt to be an assistant here, and there was talk about Antigua, but that's not happened. He signed at Illinois. Payne's the only one I know of right now, but I can't imagine that there's not at least. I know Cal's out doing the recruiting himself in a lot of cases, but to get now these 4 players that you've signed, they already had the personal relationship with Cal, so maybe that's all it took. Kenny Payne now with you, so what has it been? 2 weeks? 2 weeks since Calipari's hiring? Time's kind of gone crazy on me here. Has it been 3 weeks? Just one assistant coach announced. I agree. I thought maybe you'd hear more than that.
It's more important to get the right people, not how fast you get them. Now, yeah, there is a little timetable. You got to start getting some cohesion. You got to start coming together. You got to start figuring each other out. But that's kind of what Coach has been using the first 10 games for. I don't know how much they're worried about getting a team together right now.
I remember the tweet that Norlander sent out. That was a couple of weeks ago that like the whole staff was following Calipari to Arkansas, but not one of them has been announced as a coach yet here. So I don't know what to tell you, Jason. I guess I was surprised that last week you only had the one signee, then you get 3 more this week, so maybe next week is a coach's week. I don't know.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. For my own peace of mind, there's some that I wish he wouldn't bring with him to Arkansas, just based on conversations with Kentucky folk, and there's some that have been coaches for him in the past that I wish that he would, like Josh Pastner, who was with him at Memphis, who's currently just doing TV work. I'd like to see him on that staff. I'd like to see Keith Smart. He hasn't made a move anywhere. I really was happy with what he did as a Razorback
Ronnie Brewer's
coach.
name is still on the web page for coaches.
He's going to be there.
So I think
Ronnie's
so
he's
one of them too.
You got to keep Coach Cal. He knows what's up.
Hey, Jason, I got to ask, since you're in Kentucky, you've lived there for a while. Arkansas fans have not followed like everything that Muss is doing at SC, and maybe some of that is because it's a different league. It really feels like they won't admit it, but Kentucky fans they might have wanted Cal to be gone, but I don't think they would have expected that he ends up at another school in the Southeastern Conference. And now Arkansas is getting, some of their players and their commits and getting their favorite former assistant coach in Kenny Payne. And, I see it on social media. They're into everybody's mentions about it. What's it like to live around there right now? And, is Arkansas really in Kentucky fans' head as much as it seems?
The first week, so like you, it's been 2 weeks, and there's been so much that's happened, and you see a lot of, and I'm not sure how much social media has to do with this, but I based on my observations, I don't have a lot of conversations anymore about it because people just some don't wish him well, some have a certain amount of dislike for him, and some wish he had stuck around. Some don't like the fact that who they hired. Well, they like who he hired, but he wasn't their top choice. He wasn't their second top choice. He wasn't their third top choice. He was probably fourth at best, probably closer to fifth in some fans' minds. There were some talks about Rick Pitino coming back. So it was a strange time that week after Cal left. So
it's just overall a strange time in the state where you live for college basketball. Even at Louisville, it's just funny to think that. Now I understand why he wouldn't have done anything about it too, because the exit from Kentucky for Pitino was quite a bit different than the exit from Louisville. But he had the whole video right from his office at St. John's. Congratulating Mark Pope for the hire, and this is the right guy to bring Kentucky basketball back to where they do. Not a word about Louisville, not like he would. I get why, and now everything going on with Quaintance, and is he ended up in Louisville, or is he going to make another visit to Memphis? And now apparently Arizona State's thrown into it. It's just things are wild for Arkansas right now in college basketball. But you only have the one major program in the state. In Kentucky, it's like both programs right now. There's a lot to look at.
They are, and the whole idea of Quaintance making that move from being committed to Kentucky to committing at Louisville, and then there's not many folks that are committing to Kentucky right now. It's like you said, there's been a bit of a sea change that's happened in terms of basketball power, and we'll see how long it lasts. A lot of the Kentucky fans are saying, well, Kentucky's still Kentucky, and they're posting up, their pictures of Adolph Rupp and Tubby Smith and Rick Pitino and John Calipari and Joe B. Hall, and they're like, we have a long tradition of this. This isn't going to change anything. So it's a lot. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. I'm like just fly on a wall, observing, not going to stir the pot because everybody else is stirring the pot. So I'll just watch.
Jason, it's good to hear.
Take care.
Maybe see you next weekend in Kentucky when the Hog baseball team is there. It's Jason in Frankfurt, who he's kind of sitting there in enemy territory too. And I think about Kentucky basketball. It's not a program necessarily that really would like slide back the way that Nebraska football has, but so much of it is it's not the brand, it's not the name on the front of the jersey, it's not the colors you wear, it's the coach you hire, it's the person who builds the program. I mean, they won national titles before Calipari was the coach at Kentucky. They made it to Final Fours. They had guys go to the NBA. Maybe not quite as many one and dones. But, I mean, think of all the coaches who were successful there. Billy Gillispie was not successful there. There is no guarantee that Mark Pope, just because he played at Kentucky and built a halfway decent program at BYU, is going to keep Kentucky where their fans expect them to be. It's not because you're Kentucky. It's because who your coach is.
How important, because I really think more than any time, the first year is so important. Like for Coach Cal at Arkansas, get his stat. I mean, you go out there and you win 20 games or don't really have that success, you better do it in year 2. I think that's how long you're giving him. I think that's what they're going to give him at Kentucky. You give him 2 years, and if he's not showing you and he's not trending upward, I wouldn't be surprised if they move on.
Like a really successful program is more, I think, for me, an idea of a succession of hiring good coaches, and maybe being lucky in some aspects with who it is you choose. I mean, just look at the baseball program at Arkansas. It's not luck; it's having the perfect coaches for the right time. Norm for like 35 years, and Dave Van Horn since. You just happened to hire the absolute perfect coach who viewed Arkansas in that way, that he would leave a good job in Nebraska where he was comfortable and happy to take over a Razorback baseball program that he has taken to a whole different level. Arkansas basketball, it didn't stay at the same level after Nolan left. And I know it might have slipped a little bit for 2 or 3 years, that led to the ugly exit for Nolan Richardson, but Arkansas did not stay where it was under Eddie and under Nolan, and it was because of the coaches that were hired. I mean, that's what a program is. And the whole celebration that Kentucky had, like, that was great for the moment. They probably needed that in order to feel, I don't know, it's like a cathartic thing. It's like one big cry, but it was a big celebration at the same time. And it was more of a celebration of them as Kentucky fans and what their program had done, and bringing in somebody that they're hoping can keep the program at a certain level. At Arkansas, I don't know. I mean, it felt different. It almost felt like, this is the thing that can return us back to the days when Eddie and Nolan were taking us to Final Fours. Musk got you to the certain point where Sweet 16 and Elite 8 became the expectation. I think it really did, and you were hoping for the Final Four. Now you got the coach who's been to the Final Four with 3 programs for crying out loud, and he is the right coach to take this program to the next level. I can't see that he's not.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Coach Cal. I think they hit it out of the park. And all I think, Phil, is let the guy work. Let him do his thing and trust the process. Don't get in such a hurry. Let him do his thing, because he is. We have the number 1 coach in the SEC.
We need to have like a Calipari jersey for people to sell. I mean, you can buy a Dave Van Horn jersey.
What number would he go with? Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what number he would be. Because you got to think he played in high school, right? Like, you got to think he
played at
might
Boone
have.
Township. He played in college.
So what number? Yeah, see what number he was.
I don't know what number Cal wore. I mean, there are photos out there of him in a basketball
You see
uniform.
the Nick Saban?
Yes.
Yeah, he had number 5 on one, and then he had 13, I think. There was one where he let the ball slip through his hands. But, hey, that's why you get into coaching.
Was he played in the secondary?
He's a D-back.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
thought. That's what his specialty was coaching them.
Yep.
I just thought that was funny because he's talking about, well, the MAC's not a speed league. I'm like, yeah, I guess you kind of know that. But he played in the MAC.
Toledo, they had the fastest guy that just got in the draft.
Point.
Yeah, Toledo, that cornerback, I like him. Yeah.
You've had some speedy guys come out of the MAC to play. Matt Landers, Toledo. He was fast here, right?
They're the Rockets anyways. I mean, they got to be fast to go to Toledo.
He played at Kent State. They're the Golden Flashes. They should be pretty – if you're named for the Golden Flashes, the Flash is the fastest of all of the superheroes, right? I don't know. I thought he might have been. Seems to make sense. You see Caleb Williams apparently has broken jersey sales records that had just been set by Caitlin Clark.
He's going to do Kyle Orton's old number. I think he's a Purdue quarterback that came after Drew Brees that the Bears drafted years ago. I want to say he drafted him in the second round or so, second or third, but – he, to me, Phil, in the last 20 years, I know Cutler was there, but they didn't draft him. As far as guys the Bears have drafted, I think Kyle Orton's their best quarterback that they've drafted. Mitch Trubisky, Rex Grossman.
Cade McNown.
Yeah, all those guys. I think Kyle Orton had the best arm and everything. So I think Caleb Williams is the most talented quarterback that they've drafted in the last 20 years.
Grossman took them to a Super Bowl.
Sexy Rexy.
Hold on a moment. Let me revamp that sentence. The Bears took Rex Grossman to a Super Bowl.
That was Earl Acker's team. Yeah, yeah. Devin Hester, you had the best return guy in the world back there as well.
So he's going to wear 18. Okay. Mike Tomczak wore 18 for the Bears too. I always liked Mike Tomczak just because of the one year he was the quarterback for the Steelers. It was the year that they got Bettis in a trade, and he was really good at turning and handing it off to Bettis.
Smart move.
But he was also the guy who threw the first passes to Cordell Stewart when he was Slash, and he was the guy that, was going to be next in line.
Who did Bettis get? Did he not get drafted by the Steelers?
Rams.
He was drafted by the Rams, number 6 from Notre Dame, and then he wore 36. Yeah, that's right.
His initial nickname was the Battering Ram.
The Bus, yeah.
Well, it was the Bus when he got to Pittsburgh. It was the Battering Ram in L.A.
Okay, yeah. He had some quick feet. I remember watching tape on him when he was at Notre Dame. Number 6 there, yeah.
So hold on now. Cordell Stewart, I think Stewart was a second or a third round pick because they didn't know if he was going to be able to play the position. Cordell Stewart would be.
He started for the Bears, quarterback for a little bit.
He'd been picked in the top 10 if it was today. Top 10.
Oh my goodness, no question about it. Cordell Stewart might have went number 1 overall. The way the game is and the spread part of the game and how electric he was out there and how athletic he was. Man, he was a beast. Him and Rashawn Salam, man, they were doing their thing right there.
Yeah, felt like Cordell was. I wouldn't say like ahead of his time because he was almost another version of Randall Cunningham. A guy with a great throwing arm that might have been a little inaccurate at times. Well, can he throw it? Can he actually run an offense and everything? Actually, he fought against, I think, a lot of the same thoughts that some people had about a black man playing quarterback. And I think he proved a lot of them wrong in some ways. Hey, it's been fun today. It's been a good week, Matt.
Shout out to Lumber One. Thanks for having us out.
Yeah, we've been at Lumber One in Van Buren on Industrial Park Drive throughout the show. And looks like the giveaways have been taken care of. I got the last burger, and they'll close up shop in a couple of hours. Meanwhile, Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast coming out soon. The one and only Ty Richardson working on that. Ruskin and Zach will take you right up until our dugout show at 5:30 for a 6 o'clock first pitch baseball. We'll see if we get it in tonight. I think we will. For Matt, for Ty, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, and get better.
Get 2.9.